asking questions. What's out there? What's waiting for you?
Why was I made? Who made me? And what did they make me for?
Are you gonna go up into space with your old man or not?
Maybe I'll never get over this.
I've lived my life following my dreams, and I don't have any regrets.
You're gonna just keep running away?
Just keep running away? I'm not running.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Believe in yourself and create your own destiny. Don't fear failure.
Perhaps there was an age where people dreamed of the possibilities in the outer space.
With high expectations, human beings leave Earth.
Outer space! Every one of us!
This is a pretty large-scale operation.
Right, but it'll be dangerous.
So what? That's never stopped us before.
Right, but it'll be dangerous.
Commence operation!
We'll commence operations in 7 minutes.
904. Proceed to R2D.
Power levels to maximum.
Understood. Second unit, stand by for orders.
Straight for the atmosphere.
We all have to make it up in space!
Be patient.
Tactics level cleared. Continuing on strategic.
As requested, you are now connected to outer space.
Never forget how beautiful the Earth looks from afar.
Outer space. It's so quiet. The remaining frontier is outer space.
Will you please come with me?
Where to?
Outer space.
I hope I'm not too late.
I wonder how long I'll be able to see the moon like this.
The majority of people living in space are either technicians or laborers.
All right, take her up. Yeah, that's it. Keep her going.
All areas functioning.
Looks like we won't have any interference this time.
The shuttle will soon enter the atmosphere. Please be sure to fasten your seatbelt and remain seated.
We're ready to enter the atmosphere.
Next time we go out to space, how about leaving yourself a little bit of free time? Talented people are capable of understanding us.
Continuing our top local story. The skies over Tokyo last night.
It's coming.
The world will not be destroyed. It will change.
Activating multiple sequence. Counting countdown. I just control the operation of the system. Deciding to use it as the job of Hayward Julius.
I don't like this. I've got a really bad feeling.
Come on. Anything else that might get in the way of our ideal must be destroyed immediately.
not enough. Let me repeat that. If this mission fails, if we are unsuccessful, we have no future.
That's utterly preposterous. It's not even logical. This is not meaningless.
This result is natural.
Commence destruction.
You are stopping on the road to glory! And these shall be the symbol of hope for the people.
Yeah, whatever.
That's what I mean. That's the attitude that's ticking people off. Trying to rid myself of my
Stop it, please. So you think you complete God?
Of course not.
It's just like it is with the stars. There are bright ones and there are those that are dim.
Why can't I make you understand? This is insane!
Nothing good can ever come from staying with normal people.
Be very careful.
All right, and we are live and returned to the Bone Zone. It's another lovely Saturday night, 7 p.m. EST. As always, I'm going to play some backtracks. All right, levels should be good. Might be a little too loud. Let's adjust that a little bit. Jesus. Okay, hopefully that's not too loud. If the levels are strange, don't worry about it. Oh, well, actually, do tell me. Do say something in the chat. If that's too loud. But I thought it'd be nice to have a nice backing track. Should have people arriving momentarily to spend time with us tonight. Right now, it's just little old me, but let me just get these tweets thrown out. And the people, of course, someone starts messaging me on Discord as soon as I start streaming. Not a second before, but right as. Oh, now I'm messaging. Actually, yeah. Let's punish them. Punish them live. There we go. Oh, cool. It didn't post a link. Thank you. Whatever. Just got back from Warhammer night at Sabrina's Sabrina, whatever you want to call it, Twitter Girl's place. Oh, someone's popping in. There we go. We get it going. We get it moving. I got my beers. I got my drawings. Find out who it is any second now. People pop in, but their mics aren't necessarily on, so. Or they've got themselves muted, or any number of things. What can you do? Well, it looks like it's Dan, but I guess he doesn't have his mic on yet. Whew, it's too toasty in here. I always say that. I always think I'm going to be cold, and I never am. It's like -3 degrees outside, and this room is still hot. It's never been a cold room. Never has been. Never will be. I'm working on this, PMC style border collie character tonight, though, which I like a lot. It's hitting a lot of my strong points. Let's give it to. I use the EXO. I have it off screen, but I have the Metal Gear Solid 5 art book, and this guy, his outfit is based on the EXO-F PMC Soldiers outfit. I either bought the Metal Gear Solid 5 art book for myself, or someone else did as a gift, and I don't remember who the fuck did it. But I have used that thing so much for reference. I mean, it's like Yoji Shinkawa concept art. You're gonna love it. How could you not love it? You'd have to have very, very poor taste to hate this kind of thing. I'd apologize for talking to myself.
People who hate him are uncultured.
There we go. There's Dan. Hey, what's up, buddy? How we doing?
Hey.
Good to hear you. Good to hear you.
Yeah, finally had some sun for once.
I know. I got to see the sun today. It was lovely. I haven't seen that thing in weeks. It made me feel great when I was out doing errands.
Yeah, like mentally, I was just falling apart, and so is everyone else.
Yeah, the whole Bone crew. We're all in a perpetual state of shock right now. We're trying. It's been rough. We'll talk about that a little tonight. Just let me. I want to get a few more people in on the live stream chat. Well, not just the live stream chat, but just the Discord chat as well. Just get. Oh, people are in the stream chat. Let's talk about that. Froduck, Bluepaw, Rhea. Oh my God, Noble Indigo, Zapadapo. Love. Yeah, isn't this great? You can see everything I'm working on. Oh, check this out. I got a ring light too that changes colors to different light setups. Look at this. Oh. Now it's cool. Now it's warm. And now it's neutral. I tend to use... Actually, I think I should use the warm setup for a nice, warm, cozy stream. But yeah, you can see my mountains of materials now that I have.
Oh, yeah, I can tell.
You can see all the my tons of paints and inks and jars of water and stencils. This is why people do and don't do traditional art, because if you have Photoshop, this is all inside your computer. If you do what I do, it's all everywhere, and you have a fuck ton of it. I personally like stuff. I like working with my hands extensively, so I like trying out materials, seeing how they work, how they feel, what unique property they can bring to the artwork, so I'm good.
The other thing is, let's say you make... something that was, let's say, undesirable. Well, you have the ability to work around it and come up with a solution, and that's kind of the fun part.
What do you mean by that? Actually, because you can do that on digital.
So, like,
if you don't like, that's what Control Z is for.
Yeah, but you kind of don't have that when you're doing, let's say, like Speedball ink. And it's like, oh shit, I put too much ink on the spot here. Yeah. And you just deal with it and come up with a solution.
It does, yeah. Instead of just deleting it, you have to come up with some kind of workaround, or you have to make it work. Or in the occasional worst case scenario, yeah, you got to restart. It does force a certain kind of carefulness into you, where you're just like, I have like basically one chance to make this line correctly, so I am going to work at making lines correctly, as opposed to just doing the kind of Control Z bounce back and forth that you see people do.
Yeah, and there's especially in the type of work that you might be dealing with, sometimes you just gotta suck it up and don't get married to your product.
Yep, that's fine. It's fine to redo stuff. I got a whole wall of my bedroom as my... Oh, Noble Indigo apparently has a traditional setup. Awesome, man, awesome. You can see there's my beer on screen for a second there. Got my big tall beer glass tonight. I actually meant to bring this drawing to 40K Day today and get it done while everybody else was playing, but I totally forgot, so I just shot the shit with friends. Which, you know what? That's good too. Sabrina might pop in. She might still be running stuff at her house. Sabrina, aka Shots with Comics Twitter girl, helps us run the Twitter, moderate the chats live on Swick. We'll be doing a new episode of that tomorrow, of course. I'll finally be finishing Legend of the Overfiend, our favorite comic ever. I love the traditional stuff. I love seeing the pencil lines.
I showed you that.
Yeah, I like that too. What'd you show me, Dan?
It was like earlier this week. I was at my local comic shop and I found like degenerate furry comics.
Oh
yeah,
like,
what the hell is this?
Yeah, you found like old Club Stripe stuff, which I didn't. That must have been like from someone's old collection, because you could only ever get that stuff like at like furry conventions.
Yeah, you can't get it anywhere else. I mean, maybe a few places online, but they're like, yeah, they're $20 each. I'm like, I'm not getting this.
They were collector's items. I mean, yeah, remember there's like 50 issues of issues 1 and 2 of False Start out around there. So for anybody who has those are super rare. So even I don't have any anymore. I sold them all.
Yeah, my print provider kind of died. So
dude, they come
no
and
more,
go.
Yep, no more Armor Gears.
I've got my issue. Hold on to it, baby. Hold on. You never know. You never know.
I think only 200 were produced.
Oh, so you made a few more than I did, but
yeah,
that's still not like a whole lot,
No, it isn't. I have like less than like 10 or 15 left.
Oh, really? Okay, I wasn't even sure if you had any left.
Yeah.
Hand those off to me if you ever want. I'll sell them at a con, no problem. I love seeing the pencil lines and brush strokes in the final piece. Me too, I like that stuff. I love art books that have rough and messy concepts and development notes. Yeah, I have a lot of different art books. One thing I'm noticing with this new camera setup is, boy, it does wiggle a bit. Sorry, that's just going to be, if you're racing, it's going to wiggle the whole table and the armature is going to wiggle with it, so not much I can do about that. But you can see all of what I'm working on, so that's nice. It's a nice new thing. As I mentioned earlier, I do have the Metal Gear Solid 5 art book in my lap. So speaking of art books, this is an excellent one. Would highly recommend for people who like, well, you know, if you're a Yoji Shinkawa or Metal Gear fan, obviously it's something you'd want. But if you're someone who just likes really, really good military concept art and references, it is an excellent art book. Almost nothing in the way of designer or developer notes. So if you like that kind of stuff, steer clear. But if you just want really well-printed, high-resolution, glossy pictures of excellent artwork, great book for that. If you want a book with a lot of notes, something like the Venture Brothers art book is the one you want to go for. That one has tons of notes, and it's awesome for that. Different art books, different companies put their art books together differently. So, I love the art book. What kind of art books? Oh, okay. I think I'm answering the question right now. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. So, and remember, we are. Oh, you go.
Yeah, they're great assets if you're trying to develop your own skills too. So sometimes you gotta look at your peers. Sometimes you gotta look around.
I have.
Other than the people on the internet.
Yeah, and like, you know, obviously you can find infinity reference on the internet, but the nice thing about an art book is that generally it's going to have very high resolution pictures. It's not just going to be like something some guy scanned off of his computer or a TV or from, you know, like in his scanner. It'll be like the best possible image quality. And it's going to be, they're not just going to put stuff in a book that they think looks like shit. It's going to be a compiled collection of stuff they believe is worth looking at. So it's generally going to be the best of the best. And you know, obviously with something like a book that has more notes in it, that's not necessarily something you'll find on Google Images, etc. And a lot of times you can find these art books, like people will scan them in and then you can just get that. I like to have the physicals, but obviously you don't have to do that. Ebooks are a thing. Kindles are popular for a reason. But I would always say art books are a great investment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got the pinup book that you recommended.
Oh, the Taschen one. Yeah, Taschen, they put out some of the best historic art books ever. And yeah, that's one of my favorites, along with Men's Adventure magazine. That's another Taschen that I have that I love. That one's funnier though. Chad is saying, let me know if you ever want a book from one of London's major art galleries. I can send you one. I would love that. Hit me up in PM and I can give you an address to send that to. My address is findable if you're really dedicated, but I don't post it anywhere, but I also don't hide it. So, but if you do want to send me a book, just hit me up on Telegram or in a PM on Twitter or FA or my email, and I'll tell you where to send that. Hopefully, some of the other people from the Bone Zone server are coming on tonight. I was hoping to have like Isabella, or I don't know if we'll get Billy or not. I know Chad is busy with his wife. AJ's doing whatever it is he does. Sean might pop in. I know Mamaru said he wanted to be on. I think Cyber is sleeping, but you never know. Do you like traditional modern portraiture? I do. I like pretty much anything. Any type of art I can find value in.
The good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously I'm a traditional artist, so I lean towards that. Obviously a lot of art books are going to be digital these days because concept art is done digitally, because that is the smart way to do concept art, because it needs a fast turnaround time. If you look at older concept art, it was generally done in like gouache and acrylic paints, because those were quick ways to get very finished illustrations out quickly. But concept art is all about establishing the concept quickly for your producers, so they know what the hell you're working on. That what they're investing their money in is looking cool. And it's for the director to look at things and be like, yeah, that's what I want the film to look like. Okay. Or what I don't want it to look like. Here's what we're going to change, etc., etc. I guess I always just looked at concept art as a kid, and it always looked like cool finished pieces to me, so I never...
It's like, wow, that looks amazing. It looks like it was done in 15 hours. No, that was done in like...
They do it very...
An hour and a half.
Yeah, those guys are...
Yeah.
They speed paint, they use photo textures, brushes, like all sorts of things to go fast. Because they have to just do a ton of these. Because a lot of that concept art is just people feeling out. They're like... A lot of it's the stuff that doesn't get published where it's like, okay, that's what we don't want the film to look like. This is what we're not going for. And when you're making, you know, if you're doing a big project, you have to figure that stuff out too. It's like, okay, avoid this, or we think we want to go in this direction, and then we see how it looks, or how it looks as a total large part of a bigger project, and it's like, oh, I don't want this. We don't want this. This is not the feel we were going for in our film movie that's costing $400 million to make. Oh, okay. Hey, Cyber. No, it's fine. It's always good to see you here. I know you work crazy hours, so you are not required to be in here. I find a piece of tape on my sock. Lovely. I thought it was screen tones. I found screen tones in my couch today. That was a first.
Oh no.
They get everywhere, dude. They're just part of life.
Yeah.
We pull them out of the shower drain all the time now. They're always in there. Because they just they get stuck to us, and then when we shower, they come off. It's like, oh, I guess that was on my arm for a day.
Oh, that's like glitter for you, dude.
It is, yeah. It's comic book glitter. It's just everywhere. I think I prefer pencil or marker for that kind of thing. Photoshop or Procreate on iPad is also nice. I did see. I think it's in the Matrix art book. There's a whole sequence where all of the storyboards were done with colored pencil. It's the sequence where, if you remember in the film, Neo touches the mirror. And the mirror sticks to him, and then it turns into liquid, and it goes all over his body. And it creates this neat chrome effect. And they actually mapped that out. They drew that whole sequence out in color for the storyboards in colored pencils. And it's a very vibrant scene, especially in the concept art. I no longer have The Art of the Matrix book. It's one of those things that I lost where it was like, I let a friend borrow it, and then I moved and forgot to get it back. So I've got a few books like that. It happens. I loan out a lot of books, you know.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh my God, my internet sucks. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I hope we're not lagging too much for you. Alex Ross uses marker with colored pencil. Alex Ross does not use marker and colored pencil. Alex Ross works in gouache.
And that dude's.
Oh no, but it looks, and he's saying, and it looks as good as his final paintings. Okay, so he's talking about when he's doing, he'll use marker and colored pencil to do like color comps and stuff. You are correct. Sorry, I did not read your whole comment. Oh, yeah, Alex.
Like the dude's crazy. He'll bring in like actual people dressed up in costumes, and he'll paint them.
Oh yeah. No, he's got on-call models. He has quite the setup. I envy him quite a lot. His YouTube channel is a great learning resource too. He's just got tons of tutorials, time lapses, interviews. He also knows his history. Like he knows these characters he's drawing. He knows what they're about. He knows who created them, when, what like not just the history of the characters, but what was going on in terms of their creation at the time. He's a well-informed man. So his YouTube channel, I think, just might be called Alex Ross. Yeah, it is. He's only got 74,000 subscribers, which I figured to be higher, but you know, he's not really pushing it too heavy. But definitely worth a look if you are into traditional painting, or just really any sort of, if you want to learn any kind of quick painting techniques, because the man can paint photorealistic comic pages in 3 days. He can do a full page in 3 days. So, and that is a speed to be envied for sure. I watch some of his videos almost every day, and I'm always picking up something new from him. Regrettably, they're not very listenable. They're very image heavy, so they tend to be something I have to put aside time for. He has a great way with words, I find. Yeah, he's not the best comic writer, which is, you know, whatever, but he is well spoken. He he's not stupid. He's not an amazing writer. Like his Shazam books are kind of corny and whatnot, which like does work because he likes that kind of corny, wholesome stuff.
The campy stuff.
He does. Like that's just kind of his wheelhouse of like very heroic, classic Golden Age type characters. He loves that. It shows through in every inch of his work. He's almost you can almost say he's like Norman Rockwell-esque but for comics, except his stuff's not like his stuff isn't very silly, but he tends to keep it pretty wholesome on the whole. That's kind of a weird sentence. Wholesome on the whole. That doesn't sound good. I don't like this sentence at all. Yeah,
sound pretty awkward.
Well, I keep these streams moving. I keep talking. Sometimes some sentences will be better than other sentences. They're not all 10 out of 10s. Some are 3 out of 10s. Let's be honest.
Yep.
You talk for 3 hours. See how all your sentences sound.
Oh, you start falling apart, and especially when you have alcohol in the system.
No, alcohol. Ooh, alcohol makes me better at this. What are you talking about? Alcohol's the only reason Alcohol's the only reason I can do this.
We're functioning alcoholics.
Mm-hmm. That's all I want. I love his video.
No, it's funny. Like everyone's like, "You drink too much. Like it makes you sad." It's like, no, that actually makes me happier.
No, it's good. It's if you know how to handle it, it's like any other substance or vice. If it's harming you, cut it out. If it's working, you're fine. Just never overdo it. You know, I've known plenty of alcoholics. I've known plenty actually not like silly pants like I'm a kid, I'm an alcoholic. It's like no, like people who have actually had issues versus people who do not. I loved his video on costumes. It felt reassuring to me to know I wasn't alone on that belief. I don't know Alex Ross's take on costumes. I know James Gurney is huge on costumes. To the point where in his books on painting, he will publish what I would consider to be some of the most embarrassing photos ever taken of a human, where it's him posing in the silliest outfits, looking like an absolute doofus in his backyard, and you're just like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. But then you look at how he uses it, and it's like, oh, he turns these embarrassing photos into like amazingly detailed war epic paintings, and it's like, oh, so the embarrassing photos are worth it. And he just puts that out there because he is so confident, and rightfully so, in his work that he's like, hey, yeah, it is okay to look like a total Dorcas Malorcas if it turns into a great painting. And I think that's very reassuring, because I get very nervous about doing photo reference of myself, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to look so stupid. But it's like, one, no one else has to see that photo ever.
It's only you.
Yeah, well, I mean, no one else has to see it unless you're James Gurney and you're publishing it in a book that is, a bestseller. So thousands, maybe millions of people have seen photos of James Gurney dressed up in a little sailor outfit, running around in his backyard for his. These are real photos of this man, a middle-aged man in a sailor outfit, going like, ooh, whoa, doing the goofiest shit. And it's like, oh my god.
Dressing up in fancy clothes is fun. Yeah, and
he's one of the.
It'd be like John Wick.
There you go. Well, yeah. Well, sometimes you get to dress. When you get to wear the cool outfits, like no one's complaining. But when you're dressed in like a silly pants outfit, but you're gonna that's also the thing is like the outfit can look silly in real life because of the materials, but then the way you paint it can be like, oh, this is period accurate. It doesn't look like fake. That's another thing with the Alex Ross stuff, where those spandex quote-unquote outfits look very fake in real life, but then the way he paints them, it's like, oh, they work in the heightened reality of comic books.
Yeah.
So then those photos are, once again, they're not necessarily embarrassing in context.
Well, I haven't seen the photos, but sometimes having professional lighting can
makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah. Like if you're just using with your cell phone with no light setup, it's gonna look like total trash. But if you have like LED panels or whatever, then it can make a huge difference.
What I found helps me is to take photos outside. Like indoor photos, you have to be so careful with how you light them, or they just look flat and awful. But if I'm just taking photos outside in the sunlight, they're pretty much always useful. Like I can always work from those.
Oh yeah, you don't have mixed lighting when it comes to that.
Yeah, you're just outside in the sunshine, and it just looks lively and natural, and it kind of has always worked for me. So that's a kit tip for you: is If you can photograph outside because you're not good at lighting stuff on your own, or you just don't have, you know, a bunch of different lights that you can move around and pose, etc., take it outside. It does work. Fuck with Photoshop or the filters on your phone to make your images higher contrast. That's another quick trick. Like, phones have like full-on photo editing suites built into them now. Like, you don't need Photoshop anymore to take decent photos. Like, I do it all the time. I will take photos with my phone, screw around with the settings, and be like, okay, that's how I do my pet portraits, is I take photos outside of people's dogs, screw around with the settings a little, draw from that, and it has worked every time. So,
yeah, use the tools that you have in front of you.
Yeah, especially if they're the right tools, and in these cases, I think they are. You know, sometimes you can be like, oh, here's the tool I have, and it's like, no, that's not the right one. That's not gonna work. That's not a good light for this. Oh, you should have taken that picture better, etc. Oh, those brushes are low quality. Oh, they're synthetic, but not even the good synthetic. I mean, there's a billion variables to take into account, which is why it's worth trying. It's why I have so much stuff in my studio, because I'm always trying new materials. And it'll be like, you might have a brush that is good for like one type of texture, but it is the perfect brush for that texture, and that's worth knowing. It's like, oh, this weird.
Yeah, I need to upgrade my brushes.
I just ordered 2 new Winsor & Newton, or no, Kolinsky brushes this week. I should get them later. I'll tell people what I think of them. I actually just did it.
They're not cheap.
No, I actually did it because I needed to fill out an order on JetPens, because they... Oh, here's another thing. JetPens.com, a website I really like for art materials, traditional art materials. They used to have a thing where you got free shipping as long as you spent $25. For whatever reason, that has gone up to $35, so now my orders have to be bigger because I want that damn free shipping.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's not a big deal because I'm always going to buy stuff from there anyway. But it does cost just a little bit more now. Embrace your tardy side. Oh, yeah. Well. I do like dressing up in silly outfits. I just don't like taking photo. I don't know. I get weird about the photo part. I don't know. This photo I look so dumb in this photo. But you just kind of have to grit your teeth and get over it. And eventually, you just don't care anymore. You're just like, oh, right, yeah, this is the job. So whatever it takes to make you feel better and okay about that. These are cool kit art tips. No, actually, a lot of people don't necessarily come to my stream for art tips, though. I always like talking about that stuff. If there are other subjects you want me to talk about, please just leave us something in the comments. Tell me about your week. Tell me about something weird that happened. Tell me about something that happened in pop culture you give a shit about. I don't know. Did anything happen in pop culture? I don't know. I'm not keeping track. That's Chad's job.
No, I'm not tracking. But if you guys were tracking, you know, news that's not political for once, what is it? A Mars rover landed not too long ago.
Oh, did another one? Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, and it's incredible. Like,
really? I mean, kind of that we can get rovers on Mars in general is incredible, but that we keep doing it is nice.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
The delivery is what made it really interesting. Think of like when Iron Man calls into Hulkbuster, and when he's fighting.
Yeah.
Iron Man is so you know that little pod that comes down in the sky and drops the Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like when it was dropping the freaking rover on the surface of Mars.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then it did like it just lowered down by like a rail, and once it was done, that thing flew away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a really cool delivery of how it's done.
Huh. I never know what NASA's up to anymore. Like, that used to be like a big thing, was NASA was always on the news. The space race. And now I just will always be like, oh, NASA did something. How about that? Like,
yeah, and now it's buried by like,
a bunch
politics, and bullshit. Scrolling content.
Yeah, a bunch of shit I care much less about than, ooh, we're going into space, life on Mars. Well, not life on Mars, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe we live on Mars. Goodness. I bought a good Raphael brush a few years back. I haven't used it much, but it's nice. Everything in news is COVID. Yeah. Everything in news
fucking
is COVID.
annoying.
Yeah, and we all know what it is. It's like, okay, COVID's here. Yeah.
It's been a year now.
We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of me and Chad doing C2E2, the last convention. It's been almost a year ago now. We went to the final convention on planet Earth. News about Mars is more interesting. I would agree.
And then they're supposed to have a plan to get the samples that the rover collects back to Earth, so that's going to be interesting how that's going to work.
What, they're trying to get specimens back to Earth, are they?
I think so.
That would be impressive.
Yeah.
The part of, it's breaking the gravity. It's the constant thing in Gundam where it's getting out of the gravity well. Like once you drop something down on the planet side, it's like getting it back up. That's the hard part.
Yep. Like even getting mobile suits into space is difficult. They gotta use fucking rockets.
Well, that's the thing I always enjoyed about the shows was it's like once the mobile suits went down on Earth, like getting them back into space was like a big
It's
deal.
a pain in the ass.
They couldn't just like take off and be like, okay, we just fly up. It was like, no, you have to get on like a shuttle and get launched at high speeds with a ton of fuel. Elon wants to combine man and machine and colonize and terraform Mars. Praise the yeah, he'll be. Yeah, what is Elon
It's the
Musk?
start of the universal century.
Elon Musk will become Belisarius Call from fucking Warhammer. He'd do that.
I need to get back into.
That seems about right for him. Man, you want to get into Warhammer? We're in the zone. AJ's painting. We go over to Sabrina's house every week. Those guys, some of the guys over there have like huge armies of they have multiple armies. I'm like, how the fuck do you guys find time for this crap?
Yeah, I barely do.
Well, they don't paint comics. That's how they find time for this. once summer
I just don't have the physical energy. I just crash after work.
No, hey, I get it. It's not easy to just be like, you know what I want to do after work is sit with a tiny little man and paint his eyeballs. That sounds so relaxing.
Like, I want to draw. It's like I can't draw at all because I'm too fatigued.
For me, it's like I'm done. I've done all my painting for the day. I think I'll sit down and do more painting. And sometimes I will, but not always. Sometimes I'm just like, I just want to read a fucking book.
And then one of the worst feelings is you feel motivated to create something, but you just can't perform.
The spirit is willing, but the body is not.
Yeah, that's me almost every day.
You can't perform. That's what she said. Oh, no. Where are their wiener co-hosts? Where are those dorks?
Just need to start talking shit about them.
Tisk. That's how you get them in.
Shame. Dishonor.
There's so many of them last week. Where'd they all go? Do they run? See, you're talking about running out of energy. There you go.
Boo.
Welcome to my world, willing spirit, weak flesh. Well, that's actually one thing that's helped me is I'm back to consistently going to the gym. I've already been feeling stronger, so that's been nice. I've gotten past that initial gym. Like whenever I start going back to the gym, if I've been off for a few months, I always get super sore the first 2 or 3 times.
Oh, trust me, I was there too. Like a couple of weeks ago. I finally met my personal trainer again, like after a year later because of COVID, and
they'll kick your ass. Yeah.
I was back to zero, and even the thing I thought was like the easiest thing was like, holy shit, my body hurts. I want to die right now.
Yeah, but like after a few sessions, like the next, I know I'm in the zone when I really kick my ass at the gym, and then I come back from it, and the next day I'm not sore at all. I'm like, okay, body knows what's up. I don't get as sore as easily anymore, and I'm finally to that point. So I'm like, okay, I don't have to feel like shit the next day, which physical painting, even it's like, oh, I don't even want to lift my paintbrushes. Everything hurts, but now I'm okay. So it's all coming together.
I think last month, I went on like a 12-mile backpacking hike, or whatever you want to call it, with a 30-pound load. I was just really pissed off that day, and I went climbing hills, and I was just gonna do like 3 miles, but somehow I ended up doing 12. I'm like, I'm doing great, and then once I stopped, like, I just shut down.
You feel, yeah, you think you're doing pretty good, and then you're like, oh god, I kicked my, I
He's like, oh no.
Well, I've had a bit of a rough week, as many people know, so I kicked my ass.
Oh yeah.
In a good way, in a good way. I hit my new goal on the elliptical, which I do like the heavily weighted elliptical, so that way I don't have to do.
Hey, that's the good stuff.
Well, that's the way you don't have to do like leg day exercises. You just do that instead. So that makes every elliptical session a leg day. Everybody's like, "Oh, kid, wow, working out and painting. Your life sounds so fun." Listen, it's winter. I can't do all the really crazy stuff I usually do.
It was like, can't do fishing.
No fishing.
I can't go to the range because it's wet and cold, and there's a bunch of wind, so I can't shoot clay either.
Yeah, well, you definitely can't do that.
Oh. I haven't been kayaking in a while either. Again, it's too cold.
Oh, it'd be freezing to do that. Well, I'll be getting a stand-up paddleboard for this season, so that should be fun watching me fall off of that.
Well, I'm looking to getting an actual kayak, so I might give away my inflatable one in the future.
Oh, okay. Well, Chad's buying a house, so he'll have room for that. So give it to him. He just inherited my my middle school waders because they fit him. They're still like really pretty high up on him, but they do fit. They don't fit me, but they fit little Chatty. So no ammo. Yeah, no. Every time I've gone to Cabela's, just no ammo. What do you
Dude,
do?
I got lucky the last time I came up.
Oh, did you? Did you find what you were looking for?
At your Cabela's, actually.
Oh, okay. Cause I can never get
Yeah,
I'm just looking for buckshot, and they never even have that.
Oh, I can probably help you with that.
12 gauge buckshot, which like usually is pretty common, but man, it has been out.
They're not. I mean, yes, it's kind of difficult, but they're not as rare as like your conventional 9mm and 5.56. But there's a few that will pop up here and there around in my area.
Okay, someone in the comments is saying something. I actually don't know if this is true. Ooh, two things. Well, someone's saying, Bone, you need little floaties on your bow for when you fall in. And I can't tell if that's a joke or if that's... Because, like, I'm like, yeah, if you fall in, like, that's probably a good idea. And I'm like, would you do that? Like... Now I'm honestly thinking, like, yeah, should I put something on there so it doesn't sink to the bottom of a lake and I lose my bow?
Or get a 550 cord, tie it around your body or something.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best way to go, so you can just rail it up.
I'd worry about it getting stuck on something and then I'm stuck to it in the water. That'd be my worry there. That'd be my worry there. That's true.
Yeah. Well, I guess floaties aren't bad.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if like, people actually do that or not. No, I have no idea.
No, like my biggest fear is like I hear it is like, oh, I lost all my guns in a boating accident. Like I'm actually terrified of that.
That would suck. Yeah, like if you're like duck hunting on a boat or something, that can happen. We can't catch a snapping turtle. Yes, we. Oh, hey, Chad's in there. Hey, what's up, buddy? Painting is work, but it's probably more fun than what I've been doing. Rewriting policy manuals for a finance institution. Wow, that sounds awful. That's why I should never complain about my job. I hear what other people do, and I'm like, you know, you get to paint a lot of tits, kids. So try not to complain too much.
Yeah, you don't have to wake up like 4 in the to do dumb shit.
Is that what time
for an event?
Is that what time you've been getting?
I mean, it happens.
Oh, I know.
It's like, hey, does jump you have? I know it's like in 6 hours, but you should probably get up at 3 in the morning. Fuck.
Oh God. I usually go to, and I try to go to bed at 10:30, but lately I haven't been able to fall asleep till midnight. You guys know I've had ongoing.
I'm terrible with that. I used to be able to like, 10 o'clock, time for bed.
Same.
But no, now I'm just like, fuck it. It's like 12:30 and midnight.
COVID fucked up my sleep schedule, and I just cannot get it back. I don't know how. I've tried everything. The only thing that kind of works is indica strains of weed, but even that, you don't want to be reliant on that. That's not good. It's like, oh, that's fun, but oh, you don't want that to be something you have to have. I want to just be able to sleep normally. I was kind of joking about. No,
Yeah.
like I know you might have been. That's the thing is, I thought you might have been joking about the floaties, but then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, that is kind of a good idea. I'm thinking maybe the best idea might be to lash it to the board, kind of like how surfers will lash themselves to their boards, so that when they fall off, they don't, lose their surfboards. But in this case, it would be you lash the bow to the board. So like the fact that I'd be bow fishing, that means there's a lash and then the string. Like that's just so many cords and rods everywhere. I'm like, oh boy. Very cool. Thank you. Remember, we are Prime enabled, so if you're a Prime subscriber or have Amazon Prime, anything like that, please do set that up. That helps me out a lot. So I'll get a chat bot eventually. I'm doing my new goal is to add something new to the stream every week. This week was the new setup, which, hey, pretty nice, right, guys? You get to see everything I'm working on. I hope you guys like that. I hope you guys like the increased lighting as well. You can kind of see it overall better. But every week I'll be adding something new to the stream as I just slowly upgrade it. So we can have the best possible traditional art stream. Not just traditional furry art stream, traditional art in general. It's going to be the best. We're just going to have the best one. That's the goal. And everybody's going to be like, well, where do you go to learn traditional art? It's like, well, you have to go to this furry stream. I know you don't want to, but that's the one. You're stuck. You're stuck with the weirdo.
But you're not as weird as the most furries.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is, people tell me I'm, as I'll always say, Sean,
you're like the most normal furry.
Well, that was what Sean on the Dick Show said. He said, quote, you're too normal. They'll have other furries call into the Dick Show, and they're always crazy weirdos, and then I'm just like this very, very plain man. I don't need...
I'm telling you, you're like Alucard, and I'm like a Belmont. I can't hang out with the others.
Yeah, I get it. Furries tend to be... I don't mind strange people. It's just when they bring their strangeness into my life and make it a problem for me. That is where there are issues, usually. So you can be as weird as you want, but if your weirdness becomes an issue... most people who are weird have issues with boundaries, etc. Setup looks great, Bone. Glad you have a safe for work. Yeah. On not safe for work nights, I'll still have to just stream my face. So sorry about that. You'll have to look at my ugly mug. But tonight we got this cool military guy. It's going to be great as a painting because I'll get to do my overlay thing with the acetate. He wants it to be like the character has a lit cigarette, and that's the main rim lighting source is a big orange rim light. And I'm going to do that on a separate layer so you can turn his smoking on and off.
Oh, you would be really cool too.
What?
Like rain effects.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you saw the one I recently did with the hollow map. That was pretty neat, I thought. We can turn the map on and off.
That was pretty cool.
And I'm glad to hear from you finally, because I did your commission like a month ago, and then I sent it to you and I never heard back, and I was like, uh-oh, what's going on?
You
were in a bad way.
Good place.
Hey, I understand. But I was just worried because I was like, oh, that's a really good one. I hope Dan's okay. I tend to lean towards giving people their space when they're not happy. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm getting in your face and being annoying. But if anybody that knows me ever needs me, you just reach out and I'll talk to you pretty much any time. But I tend to give people their space just by default. That is the Bonitis method of problem solving, for better or worse. Not like we've dealt with that recently. Yeah, Chad, we wouldn't know anything about that. I got a sick hit for a furry, gay, neo-Nazi, Antifa, vile, prude, porno guy. You're pretty reasonable. Yeah, people don't know what to make of me. I get it all. People think some weeks I'm a neo-Nazi, some weeks I'm the Char Aznavour of bread tube. Nobody knows what to make of me. Some people think I'm a prude because I don't draw like crazy kink stuff. Some people think I'm some sort of porn-obsessed lunatic because I will draw nudity and sex. It turns out I'm just trying to be a well-balanced person. That's all I'm really going for.
Trying to survive.
not even really trying to, you know, I'm doing okay in life. I'm trying to really more thrive at this point. Survive, like, I'm pretty safe. Pretty safe. I wanna go up and beyond though. I see what's out there. I see what people are capable of. I see what some people get, and I'm like, yeah, I want me some of that. I want me a house. I want me a nicer truck. I want me a boat. I'll just use it to hang out with friends and stuff. So, dude, the Hollow Map commission was awesome. Oh, thank you. That was good use of the airbrush. I don't think I've gotten to use the airbrush on stream yet. I'd like to show that off. I'm still learning some things about it. It is completely different from regular brushwork. I will tell you that much. But I do like it, and man, can you do some cool lighting stuff with it. Plus, it's satisfying to use, and it makes a cool sound when you turn it on. It looks like a little car engine. It looks like a little car engine sitting in the studio, and it just goes put 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 put. I like it.
That's awesome.
You do have to. The only downside is you have to clean it out after every use, which is a bit of a pain, but it takes like a minute.
Yeah, you don't want things clogging up.
Yeah, you don't. An airbrush has a cone tip that it shoots the spray out of, and that can get clogged and fucked up real easily, especially if you do not clean it. So make sure to clean your airbrushes, kids. I'm having beer.
I'm having your favorite St. Louis beer for now.
I got some Budweisers. That's what I'm what are you having?
Yeah, I'm having the Bud.
Yeah, hey, I'm finishing up. I bought a 24 pack a few weeks ago, so.
It was like, I'm just trying to save money at the same time. But I do like some good beer.
Budweiser's great, man. Like for a relatively cheap beer, it's good. It's filling. It's more full and flavorful than like a PBR or like a Miller Lite or whatever. So
it took me a while to get used to it.
Oh, really? Okay. See, I grew up with it.
Yeah, like I was like, man, this sucks. And then once they came over to GFM, I actually went to the actual brewery. It's like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Going to the brewery, yeah, that'll kind of change your perception of it. You're like, oh, this is really cool.
Because it's like super fresh too, and it's like, oh my god, this tastes completely different. It's like when you're trying, regular ass Coca-Cola, and you try like the one made with actual sugar. That's like night and day. That's how it was.
Yeah.
For me.
My favorite rice beer is still Lucky Buddhas. Those are my favorite, but that's hard to find. I used to get those all the time, but they've become very difficult to find.
Oh, they're not in my area anymore. And I kept missing them out, and now I'm like, well, I'm stupid.
Oh, they're so good. I think I heard someone else jump in the call.
I heard too.
Yeah.
Hey, it's husband. Hey, my God, it's my husband. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good. Just jumping in. I was just sitting down to do some painting of my own, so I figured I was like, hey, while I'm doing that, might as well hop on in.
Get
involved.
And hey,
chat it up.
If you get one done that you think looks particularly good, just bring it in the studio and we can put it on camera.
Oh gosh, I'm doing such like batch basing on these minis here that I doubt I'll get.
Can you bring in the one that you have that is, other than the base, the one that is finished, because we can show that off.
Yeah, sure. Let me put down this paint here.
No, I get you.
Now I get to say it. Ooh.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm always saying that. Like, hold on, let me get finished with this brush stroke. I don't want to waste the paint on this brush.
No, I get it.
No, every stroke matters.
And when it comes to paint, it's like, oh, hold on, there's paint on the brush. You got to use it, otherwise.
Yeah, like same thing with ink for me. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, I gotta use it on something, even if it's like not the actual product itself. I just doodle somewhere.
Or you're mid-stroke and you're like, hold on, I'm in a good stroke. I don't want to mess this up. Like, let me finish this.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like when you're working on this, like a layer or a set. It's like, oh, if I stop here while in the middle of it, it's like, well, then it's going to be obvious. You'll be able to see it.
You're having.
And you don't want
that.
that.
Chat is having Captain Morgan and Mountain Dew. Does that mix well together? I know Captain Morgan's really good mixed with Dr. Pepper. I've never tried it mixed with Mountain Dew. I don't know what mixes. I guess
I gotta try that now.
Yeah, if it's good. Otherwise. AJ, hey, right now I'm trying 805 with lime. Oh, that sounds nice. Bud Light and lime is nice. That is always a classic.
All right.
The Bud Light limes they sell are good. I like those.
Here, let me go get that finished mini and I'll bring it on camera.
Yeah. We'll show everybody your. AJ is painting. We're trying to paint up the Space Hulk box set, and I'm painting the Space Marine Terminators, and he is painting the Tyranids. So our guys that we painted can murder each other.
I still gotta finish my Space Marine Intercessors, which I'm turning into. I got the Black Templars conversion kit.
Nice. I didn't know there was like a specialty conversion kit for that. But yeah, here's
AJ's. I was just goofing around. I found it.
I might have to change the light a bit. There you go. You can see it. But AJ's. We're doing the Gene Stealers in like an ice Tyranid look.
That's cool.
There we go. There you can see him real well. This is one of the. He still has to do the base, but the actual Tyranid itself is done. And the camera's not focusing particularly well right now, but if you look, you can see he's got like blood on
I
his
can
claws.
make out.
It's focusing real weird and all over the place. But he's got blood on his claws and in his teeth and stuff. They look fantastic. So, thank you, honey. Thank you. Now we'll let him sit down and get back to painting. This is a painting house. Damn it. And this house.
I gotta work on. I have like a bunch of backlog of model kits I need to finish up.
Me too. One thing at a time. I got my Sisters of Battle army all primed this week, which since it was too cold to go outside and do any priming, I was doing it in my little spray paint room, which works, but then the fumes get in my studio and I have to let the studio like defumigate.
Yeah. I have a couple of master grades that I haven't touched yet, and I'm waiting until I get an actual home.
Yeah.
But Annie got me a master grade Gundam Alex.
Gundam which one?
It's one of the oh shoot, I think it's called War in the Pocket.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's one of the early OVAs. That's during the 1 Year War. Yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, so I have that. I still have the full armor Gundam from Gundam Thunderbolt. But again, like I don't have a lot of space, so
you either need to have like a dedicated spray area or be able to go outside consistently to spray. Like the garage is the ideal environment for priming work.
Yep.
We luckily have a spare bathroom, and that's what I use, but it's attached to my studio, so it causes my studio to get full of spray paint fumes.
It's hilarious, frankly.
Oh, yeah.
Just how much the fumes just fill out, not just that area, but they'll like go onto the apartment, so like the closer you get to that spare bathroom,
oh yeah,
it's like, oh, you start smelling it. Like if you're
up.
If you're on the other end of the apartment, can't smell it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But just even a little bit, once you start approaching, like you're in the kitchen, something happened in here. Something's going on. And then the closer you get, the more it's like, oh, someone's causing some fumes here.
I need to get in the habit of wearing my mask more often when I do that, but I just I don't need it, and I totally do because I end up getting like a headache or
you get lightheaded.
Oh yeah, you're just like, oh boy. And like people are like, yeah, you get high on paint fumes. I'm like, how do you get high on this? You just kind of feel bad. Like it's not like a good high. You're just kind of like, oh, I feel like shit. Ugh.
Oh, that's me with the Tamiya paints.
Yeah.
Are those like fume heavy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
They will fuck me up. But they're good quality paint.
Tamiya, I like Tamiya. Tamiya's good.
They make good stuff.
Looking good, sir. Oh, thank you, Cyber. Oh, I wasn't sure you were still awake, man. I know you work the craziest hours. You work some of the craziest hours I know. So.
Long night shifts.
Or random all-day shifts. They'll be like, oh, I worked a double shift. Oh, it turned into a triple. I'm like, oh my god.
Cyber has really weird double shifts because when I think of a double, I think of like, oh, that means you just work an 8 hour shift twice,
Yeah.
do that in a row. And it'll be like, no. I work 1 8-hour shift, go home, get like, I don't know, 3-4 hours of sleep, and then I go back in and do another like 8-hour shift. That way my whole day is shot.
Yeah, I mean that's just
that's just how you, and that's how you do it. That's when I think of a double. That seems like the ideal type of double I'd want someone to be working.
That sounds like a nightmare. Like, 'cause, yeah, I always worked the kind you described up front. Although those could be weird too, because I would work at like restaurants and stuff, and you would come in like while the sun was coming up or not up yet to open. You know, you get like, especially if I worked at barbecue places, you had to get everything off the smoker, and then you wouldn't leave until, because you'd have to close, so you wouldn't leave until the sun was down. So it was just like moving from dark to dark, but 16 hours apart. It sucked.
Yeah, I used to do that when I worked in fast food, and I mean,
it's the worst.
It's not so bad when you have like the drive-through, because at least with the you always are like have a window that you can peek out of.
See, I was always in the back I was just a cook, so I could
totally different thing.
I could glance out like in one area and see the sun and be like, and the other thing was the only people who got to go outside really were the guys who took smoke breaks. If you didn't smoke, you really didn't get a break. So it was
that sounds like a great reason to take up smoking.
I know, I thought about it just so I could take breaks. I was like, oh my god, I need to take up smoking just so I can get out of this fucking kitchen.
That's terrible.
There was one manager we had there who gave fresh air breaks because he didn't smoke either. He's like, no, we get air breaks. That's what we get because we don't smoke. And I was like, that was my favorite manager. He would also just let us like set up a bunch of milk crates in the back and we could just watch TV sometimes if it really wasn't busy. As opposed to the other managers who was like, oh, you got to clean. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. I was like, yeah, fuck that. Let's watch The Simpsons.
Oh my god, I hate those managers.
So
no, Pete was the cool manager.
I sometimes get 24-hour duties, and it can go both ways.
I know what that's like.
But typically I'm the one running it, so I usually let my guys, like, you know, especially on the weekend, they don't want to be there. It's like, dude, just fuck off, and I'll call you when something happens, and if it does, whatever.
The joys of low-tier employment.
Yep, so it's like, answer phone calls, make sure you get Red Cross messages, pick up drunk people, make sure the building doesn't catch fire, which actually did happen on my shift.
What?
It sucked ass, and then we had a fucking bathroom explode. And it was not fun, but typically what I'll do is I'll let my guys just fuck around, bring in their PlayStations and TVs, and
why
just
not
play on duty. And be like, what are they? It's like, they're not doing anything.
There's nothing.
I'm the one.
No, there's so many low-tier jobs where it's like, they're just like, oh, you got to do something. You're getting paid. It's like, I get paid next to nothing, and almost nothing's happening. Like, what am I going to do? Make something that's like mildly dirty clean again, where it'll get this much mildly dirtier again in 12 hours? It's just pointless.
Well, I don't know. Like, I think of, like, I have my full-time now, and I thought I worked way more at my old, like, part-time gigs, like doing fast food than I do now. You know how it's like when you work in those jobs, people, like, even customers will say, like, oh, when are you going to get a real job? People ask that stupid question. I was like, oh, I got a real job. Why do you call this a real job? It's stupid.
Why don't you go eat a dick?
Yeah, that's what you want to say, but you also don't want to get fired.
Yeah. So my thing is, once I separate from military, my thing is, I'm going to try and work at Checkers for like a month just for like shits and giggles while just totally pay. And like, you should get a real job. Like, bitch, I'm disabled.
Well, no, don't worry. Luckily, the Lyme disease thing, nobody gives me shit about that real job thing anymore. Because they're like, oh, right, he gets tired real easy. They don't like to hire people that get tired ridiculously easily at McDonald's either.
Yeah. Well, because you got to stand all the time. And
you know, yeah, you've seen me. I can't do that. Like, yeah.
like you have your standing desk and it's like, oh, this is gonna be nice, and then you barely use it for standing because it's like, oh, that just takes it out of me.
Well, it's just I wanted to use it to show all the to get all the the ref sheets on. It was like, oh, I can't do that in standing form, so I just put it back into the other one.
Yeah.
It's also because I'm so tall, it's hard to get the standing desk at like a good height for me.
Right.
I'm 6 feet tall, so I need my standing desk is already on like just so I can sit at it properly. I've got it on risers, so.
Yeah, was it just standing for midgets?
Well, I mean,
Tiny,
it is
short people standing.
It is like a World War II drafting desk, so it was for probably a shorter generation of people.
Yeah, the average height then was like 5'6", and
yeah, it's gone up.
Most people are like, what, 4 inches taller now?
Something like, yeah.
Is it really that drastically different?
I know
something like that.
I know it's different. I don't know if it's that I don't know the exact stats, but yeah, people have gotten taller throughout the centuries.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about World War II.
I mean,
That's not even a century ago.
Yeah, even in like the Civil War, people were like 6 inches shorter or so. And like you just look at like my dad has compared it because like I'm my father's son obviously, and if you look at like the size of his wrists and ankles versus mine, it's just like, oh, I got much better nutrition as a child than even my dad.
Yeah.
Like
I got all that processed food compared to my ancestry.
Yeah, processed food. Ooh, it's iffy, but in terms of just being able to eat, just eat enough, to not be considered malnourished, it's like, oh right, I've had access to just like I've never gone hungry in my life. Like obviously I've been hungry, but I've never been like, oh, there's not enough food in my house for me.
Yeah.
I am sorry if there's anybody in the chat that has gone through that. That really sucks, and I am so sorry.
Yeah, no shit.
That was me in college.
Well,
I had to sleep in my car for like weeks at a time.
Oh God. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, it sucked. This is fucking Maryland. Like, that place has no sympathy for you.
No wonder you were so. Because I remember the first time we hung out, you helped me at Anthrocon, and you hung out with me and I was driving my dad's Cadillac at the time. And I was like, are you sure you're comfy in here? And you were like, happy as a clam. And now that I hear that, I'm like, oh, yeah, that car was probably very comfortable.
Yeah.
It was a comfy. I mean, it was a fucking Cadillac. Of course it was comfy, but.
Yeah, that great Toyota I was sleeping in that for like days. Because I was like, I don't have money for fuel, so I'm going to have to camp out in the parking lot. Hopefully I don't get picked up by the police.
I've never had to do that. I've slept in the back of my truck with an air mattress when I'm camping sometimes, but that's about.
Yeah, like for travel, but I don't think either of us have ever had to like actually sleep in the car out of real necessity.
Karen has pulled over on like rest stops and slept in her car when we've done conventions before.
Yeah, but that's like during travel, and I don't really consider that the same.
Even
thing
then,
at
I don't
all.
know how she does that. Like, I'm like, I just, if you're tired enough, sure, but I'd just be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep driving.
No, I think I've done that before.
I have.
But yeah, people in Texas are experiencing supply shortages right now. And
yeah,
God.
I've been hearing some stories. Oh man, one of the guys in one of the business chats I'm in, he said that he went to the grocery store today, and in the whole store, there was 12 pounds of meat available to buy.
Oh God.
And it was $40 a pound.
Really? 40 a pound?
Yep.
Jesus.
I'm just shocked that like National Guard hasn't been called for anything.
They haven't?
I don't think so.
That's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of the first line of defense on that stuff.
Well,
it's like,
well, you think that the person who would make that or at least advocate that decision would be,
it would be their governor.
Well, he just got back.
Or at least
Cancun.
like.
No, you're thinking of their is Ted Cruz a senator or representative? I can't remember which one. I think he's a senator.
Oh, okay. I just thought it was funny. He went to Cancun, all right. Like he's like, fuck this shit. It's too cold. I'm going to Cancun.
Because like, he's not the one to make decisions, but
Well, you think, well, as a senator for his state, he's supposed to, you know, represent them and advocate for action for
he's
their
advocating
benefit.
for everybody to
And
go to
this is-
Cancun and warm up.
And this would be the time to step up for that.
He's like, hey, come on, lead by example. Everybody should be going to Cancun with
Right.
me.
Exactly.
Let's go see some Tijuana titties. Oh, he's a Republican senator. He wouldn't do that.
He just pulled
No, he would do that, except he'd do it way quieter.
Yeah, he would keep. Yeah, he'd keep
and
quiet.
probably wouldn't take his kids.
Yeah,
He
well,
just pulled off a Dutch Vanderland.
Yeah, he ran off to Tahiti.
Trying to grow some mangoes.
He made it. Good old.
He needs some money.
Oh, Teddy, you goof. I just need some money, pal. FEMA recommended having a 2-week supply of food and water in your house for a no kidding. Ted Cruz left for Cancun. Real smart move. Yeah, I mean, I'm just joking. I just find it funny.
I mean, if he was regular Joe Schmo, Ben, who gives a fuck?
No. Oh yeah, no. If he's regular Joe Schmo, he's like, man, I've got enough money in saving. I'm just going to go to Cancun right the fuck now. This is a great time. You know what? More power to that guy. That's not a fucking politician.
Oh,
yeah, fucking job.
That actually, something similar is happening. Julie, my college girlfriend, she was tweeting because she lives in an apartment complex, and the people above her are having renovations being done, and all those renovations are being done with a jackhammer. So since she lives under them, she can hear it. But the person who's having the renovations done, they're just off in Rio on vacation without a care in the world. And she's stuck with the jackhammer. I was like, oh, that sucks.
That's stupid.
Like that guy, while they're messing with my apartment, I'll be out of here. Everybody else has to deal with it, though. Fuck you.
It's funny because the times that I've gone up to see you, like, it happens when there's a hurricane coming in my area.
Yeah, you might as well just get out of there.
So
fuck it, I'll stay at a friend's place. We'll always have you, man.
Like,
we'll always have you. No hurricanes in Michigan, just blizzards.
Yeah, like when I was helping Iz and Matt move out of Chicago, like a hurricane hit my area, and I just dodged it like a day early. Yeah, and when I came up to Michigan in September, again, a hurricane hit my area.
That's just what you do. Is if the weather's that bad and you've got a place you can go, just fucking do it.
Yep.
We would do that when we lived in Alabama. If there was hurricanes, we'd just go up and stay in St. Louis for a week. Be like, fuck this. There's gonna be power outages. Everything's gonna be closed, and people are gonna be kayaking in the streets. That would happen, by the way.
It did go outside like a few years ago because we're all retarded.
Shut up, Billy.
Just waving flags out in the middle of the street.
What's Billy saying? I don't actually have the chat pulled up right now. I should do that.
Billy says Dan seems upset. I'm like, oh, fuck off.
I just skimmed that part.
Yeah. Oh, okay. God damn it. If we get Sean, maybe if Sean gets in here, we can talk about some more of that. I think he's gonna pop in. I don't know. If anybody wants to send him a message, I gotta keep drawing, but. Drawing this lovely border collie man with his giant rifle and PMC outfit. He's looking pretty cool though. Pretty cool. And then I'll be back on false start ref sheets for this week. New VHB page went up yesterday. Right in time. I almost didn't catch up, but I kept the schedule. Ugh. As his esteemed. Yeah, thank you, Billy. Thank you. I like Sean as co-host. He's very energetic. He's got a great voice for it. Good sense of humor. I know my other favorite co-host, Chad, my Swick buddy. He can't be here because he has to do like husband stuff, I guess. Whatever.
Oh, that's
yeah,
stupid.
like with his what do they call it? A wife? Huh? What?
I thought you had husbands with husbands. That's what we did.
Yeah, that's the right way to do it.
That's the smart way to do it.
Well, we got Bryce in the chat, so whenever you're ready, just jump on the mic, dude.
Oh, hope to hear from him. Haven't heard Bryce's wee little voice in a while, so. I don't think I've seen him since the wedding.
There are a lot of people I haven't seen since the wedding.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
No, I did Bryce during. God, I can't remember when his birthday was, but I played board games with him online during his birthday. I just can't remember when the fuck that was.
Didn't you guys play like Armello or something?
No, we played Seven Wonders and a couple other games, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it was a bunch of like virtual board games.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Should have played Space Hulk.
All right. Well,
It wasn't the right simulator for that.
Oh.
It didn't have Space Hulk set up, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would have.
I'd say like
probably.
Tabletop Simulator has Space Hulk.
Well, actually no, because it was like a big group party, so Space Hulk wouldn't have worked.
Space Hulk's 2 people.
No, it was Seven Wonders, which had 7 players available. That was great.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
fun party game.
I like Drawful. That's my favorite.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Is that the? Is
Hey,
that?
ladies, what's the topic on The View tonight?
It's the birthday boy. Not really, but
Oh, is it someone's birthday?
no. Not that I know.
I thought it was yours. That's what Kit was telling me.
God damn it.
No.
He was just saying.
I'm full of shit.
Oh no.
I'm a
If it was
liar.
my birthday, if
My
it was my birthday, I want you to know that I would expect an Argon the Magnificent performance.
Damn it. Chad is saying for in May he's gonna make me do Argon the Magnificent for his birthday. I'm like, oh god, damn it.
He needs to bring Dr. Freeze too.
No, that was that guy was crazy. We're not bringing him back. that guy can stay in Alabama.
Listen, Chad, he can't get a Doctor or Argon the Magnificent performance because I haven't even gotten a Argon the Magnificent performance.
All right, I'll bring back the guy.
But Chad's his friend, so
He has
Okay,
He has requested
sure.
it. He has requested it specifically, and I still have the goggles, so I can.
And you know, as a friend, you have to fulfill your friend's birthday wishes. That's just how it works.
I want to
Birthdays
be
are
a
special.
good friend for Chad, so I'll be a children's magician for him.
I think you mean birthday clown, sir.
I was not a clown. I was a magician. God damn it! An illusion. No, and I gotta be like Job from Arrested. An illusionist. They're not tricks. They're illusions.
Okay, but
Oh yeah, because
hold
they're
on.
Christians and mad.
Hold on,
It's done.
between.
Oh yeah.
Well, hold on a minute. Between clown and illusionist, which is the more embarrassing? Let's be honest here.
Clown.
Illusionist.
Is it?
There is
'cause
honor to clowning around. Just saying.
The ha-ha,
Honestly,
Bobby.
there's-
The ha-ha.
I wouldn't say that there's honor. There's just honesty.
Battle without honor, humanity between clowns. Oh god, the Science Squad.
Okay,
this was something I thought I told you guys about this shit. I probably have, but then everybody suddenly realized how funny it actually is that this used to be my life.
No, because you do this thing where you're like, oh, I told you guys that story already, and guess what? You never did.
Oh no, my life
No,
was an
here's the-
embarrassment.
Here's the thing is that you've talked about it in like online journals before, but that wasn't necessarily with us. That was just 2 people in general in public, but it was different people who saw it. Like,
You're
I'm sure.
expecting me to read?
Yeah, I've never read anything in my life.
Actually,
I don't even read comics.
Actually, this is kind of cool. Was my artist profile picture on FA used to be a picture of me working on those Science Squad things, and it's actually a cool picture. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up and put it in
Yeah,
the chat.
I remember when that was like fresh. You're working on Dr. Freeze and you're seeing some kid like shit on the floor or something.
Yeah, I told that story today at Warhammer Day. So I was like, what was the worst thing that happened? Oh yeah, it was when the kid shit all over the floor, and I had to like track it down.
Wait, you had to track down the shit?
Okay, I'll tell the story again, because I told it at Warhammer, but that's not here. Anyway, here's the picture of me working on Dr. It's actually a really good picture of me, so I've always liked it. So there you go. This is me at the Explorium, working on Dr.
Oh, hey,
Freeze.
that'd be a You know, if you had your own website, this would actually be a great picture. For
Well,
it.
hey, if you know a guy
It's a good photo.
if you know a guy who's building a good website for me, he can totally steal that photo and use it. I'm currently locked out
Like
of my
maybe-
website, so for some reason,
Like maybe putting it on the say studio page or an about page of sorts.
yeah, that'd be crazy. Well, if you know a guy who's working on that, because I can't get into my website, I'm locked out. I have no idea why.
No,
I'm just using Wix for now. It's not the best thing, but it's something for now.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
it
you poor
works.
man.
There's Wix, and what's the other?
I'm a peasant.
No, you're king. You're a king, Dan. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Come join the WordPress kingdom, Jan.
So young and chipper. Yeah, I forget that picture. Like, when was that taken even? 7 years
I think
ago.
that was
No, the only
2014
thing,
or something like that.
the only thing I remember from you working on those, like, old days was I remember when you first posted, like, the Dr. Freeze, like, the full mural. I do remember this picture.
Yeah.
But, like, when you actually posted, like, the full mural or like, when it, seeing it up, I remember seeing that. But I never, it wasn't until, like, last week that I saw you in that fucking wig.
Alright, well, you know, you
Listen.
make sacrifices for your job, okay?
Listen, I have worn wigs before, usually not in public for a job, in front of children, but I have
Now
done
you're
it.
making me sound like a pervert. And hey, let me tell you, this pervert's job was really fun. I was very
No,
good
I
at
was-
being a children's illusionist.
I wasn't trying to make you sound like a pervert. I was trying to make you sound depressing.
All right. Well, it was because I was slowly losing everything I had dreamed of to Lyme disease, so it was very depressing. But that picture, that particular cutout that I was painting right there, you can see in the background there's a banister because like they thought, oh, this is cool. He can work on this in the exhibits, and people can ask him questions about it, see what he's working on. It's like kind of interactive. But I would also, because I was a human, take bathroom breaks, and a child snuck under the banister and painted all over Dr. Freeze there.
I remember this story.
no.
Well, this is one story I do remember.
With orange paint. He is blue, you might notice. So the kid found the exact opposite on the color wheel and fucking went for it.
Wow, he's so smart.
Yeah,
He knows color theory. He knows his color harmonies.
And I remember coming back from the bathroom. I even had other people, like, because when you went to the bathroom, you had people cover for you. Well, no, because I was just painting. They were supposed to be the exhibit monitors for that day. And they just did not see this kid sneak under and do this. But I remember coming back and being like, ah! Like, screaming at this. Like, no, you're not supposed to do this. Blah, blah, blah. And,
Did you start crying?
no, the kid just got.
Did he say, "Excuse me, I'm straight"? That's what straight people do.
Yeah. No, what happened was the kid just darted. He just dropped all the brushes and darted into the crowd of other children. I was like, God damn it.
Oh, so that child knew he wasn't supposed to be in there. but
Yeah.
He was doing it anyway.
Oh, but check this. Is his parent, or no, it wasn't his parents because he was the school group. The teachers complained to the administration. They're like, well, it's a hands-on science museum, so of course he should be able to paint on the exhibits if he wants. And I'm just like, fucking kidding me? Like there were banisters up. You don't go under the banisters. And does this look like something like a little kid was painting? Like, your child can't do this. I'm sorry.
Kid, I'm just gonna say it's your fault. You're in Alabama. You should have known. Shit on the floor.
Well, the shit on the floor was a different thing, and I'll tell that story too.
Well, no, that's why. Well, what I'm saying is you shouldn't have gone to the bathroom. You should have just gone on the floor like it's customary in Alabama.
Taking the example of the kids, they were the ones doing Alabama decorum right. That's what Sean's saying.
Alabama.
Yes, I'm saying that's how you prove you are in fact straight and Alabaman.
I think the guy. It's a guy who lives in Alabama. He was a friend of mine. He goes by the Dormouse on Fur Affinity, and I think he owns like the most of my originals out of anybody because he is like a major original furry art collector. He has like over 1,000 pieces or something. Because that's just what he does. Yeah, no, he's a good guy. He was a good guy. I invited him to the wedding, but he couldn't make it.
Oh.
No, I hung out with the guy every week. He was just a good dude. Does Argon have an evil twin? No, there were other Science Squad members, but not, to my knowledge, none of them were related. I didn't write the lore, so.
I don't know, like.
Guy?
Who was what?
Who was the bad guy?
Ignorance. No, I was actually trying to God, no, I'd have to go through my old sketchbooks, but I was trying to come up with a villain for them, and I had some sort of like void entity that they were going to fight. But I don't know if that ever came to fruition as their nemesis. But have I told the shit on the floor story about working at the Explorium? Should I tell that one?
Not
you've told it. You've told it to me, but yeah, it's always fun.
Okay, so this was in the same exhibit hall.
Shit on the floor.
I don't think I was doing exhibit monitoring that day. I wasn't birthday illusionisting. I was painting, but it was a group of, because we'd have large school groups come and go from the museum, and they would like reserve or say they were going to be there that day, yada yada yada. And a group just left, and you always want to kind of check over the hall and make sure everything's in place and not too broken, because kids just come in and break shit. It's just what they do, and so you have to do maintenance. What? Yeah, it's great. You have to make your exhibits able to withstand 1,000 million child punches per day. That's how durable your exhibits have to be, because that's how kids interact with exhibits, is they punch them as hard and as fast as they can for as long as they can until someone tells them to stop. Oh, that's a button? Oh, so the way you don't push a button, you punch it 100 times in a second. I'm not joking. That's just what kids do, man.
I'm starting to remember what being a child was like. Yeah. This is just like throwbacks.
It is.
See, I was a good kid.
There'd be kids who press the button and you're like, okay, you're gonna grow up and be smart. All these other kids from Mississippi, they're fucked. They're too dumb.
They're gonna be failures when they grow up.
They're all gonna be failures, and I hate them. But no, I was checking over the exhibits, and I look way up high on one of our exhibits about like centrifugal force or something, and jammed between it and an exhibit about like leverage is a pair of children's underwear, a girl's pair, zebra striped panties, but like definitely a child. It's not like, ooh, sexy panties I found. They're jammed between two exhibits, like way high up in the air, and I'm just like, what the fuck are these doing up here? Who does this? And I get them out, and they're all stained and gross, and I'm like, oh, this is disgusting, and throw those the fuck away. But as I'm throwing them away, I notice there's like a series of splatters leading from that area out of the exhibit hall, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And my brain, I guess, wasn't working very quickly, because I quickly touched one of the splatters and smell it. Like, what is this, like paint or something? It's not paint.
Oh, no.
It's not paint. It's human poop. And I immediately smell that and go, ah! And
Excuse me, but I think Argon the Magnificent would use the technical term
of what? Scat, feces, what?
Feces, yeah. Argon the Magnificent would call it human feces.
Yeah, well, Argon was not in for the day, so. And
he was off duty.
And so I literally go, ah! Like, I actually like yelled out loud in surprise and anguish, and run from the hall to the bathroom to go wash my hands, because I'm just like, this is the gross. I was probably close to throwing up just because it was so gross. I'm like, oh my god, I just touched human shit and smelled it. What was I thinking? And
that's how you really get like hair to grow on your balls, is by doing that.
Yeah. And then
so I've got to ask, was there a scientist who was like a specialist in the digestive system?
No, that was actually, we had a whole anatomy hall, but that was on the other side of the building from where this happened, so.
What I'm asking is, was there like a shit illusionist?
Yeah, no, there was not a, we didn't have any coprophiliacs on the Science Squad. Maybe they've added that now, I don't know.
If it's still alive.
But yeah, I got the janitorial crew to come in and vacuum all the human feces out of the carpet that was happening. But I we never figured out who did it or what exactly happened, but what I can determine is that some little girl shit her pants and they took off her underwear, and instead of like throwing it away or something, they just shoved it into an exhibit and then took her off the floor dripping shit all the way out. That's from a forensic point of view, that's all I can put together of what happened that day, that terrible, terrible day.
Wow, have you ever thought about being a detective?
Yeah, okay. The kid who peed all over an exhibit, I saw that happen in real time, because he was just standing there, like, playing with, like, it was like a steering wheel in, like, the really little kids area, and it was, like, in a boat, and he was just standing there being like, little kid, I'm playing, and he just starts pissing, just standing there, just all over, just down his pants, all over the floor, and I was like, what the
And that's what we call a Chad child.
No, this kid was fucked up, because he was a staffer's kid, but this was like a staffer who, he was a divorcee, and his kids were all weird because of the divorce, but his wife would show up, and she would just show up and like call him a cuck, like nonstop, and make fun of him.
Wait, like actually, wasn't this like 2012?
She wouldn't use the word cuck. She'd just call him all sorts of awful names and say all this terrible stuff about the guy, and he just.
So what did she say? He wasn't based?
Yeah, pretty much. And she just would just say all these terrible things about this guy, and he just kind of had to take it, because, like, I don't know what the hell else he's gonna do, like, start a fight with her, but his kids, it was such a fucking nightmare scenario. This lady would come in with their divorcee kids and just shit-talk her husband, who worked there and couldn't do anything about it, and then the kids would pee all over the floor.
Damn.
Yeah, that was like a thing that would happen regularly. Not the pee. The pee thing only happened once, but her
Sounds like this man just.
Yeah, Johnny. He
completely needed to like start. He doesn't need to discipline his kids. He needs to discipline his wife.
It's not his wife.
Ex-wife.
Anymore, though. Yeah, no.
Clearly,
he needs to piss on her.
Yeah, he does. Dude, she was a bitch. She was awful. She'd just come in and just be nasty. I hated her. But there was, I couldn't like be like, ma'am, you're nasty. Can you please leave? You're just a nasty person.
I mean, you could. You might not have a job after that, but you could have done that.
Well,
yeah, public disturbance. Fuck off.
She was just awful to deal with. I couldn't stand her. But yeah,
apparently,
no, unfortunately, like that public disturbance shit, like that doesn't actually work, especially once you start kicking it up the ladder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I was working in fast food, we had a guy who would come through. He came through the drive-thru, and he always ordered like a hot black coffee, no creamer, nothing, cool it down. And corporate policy, we ask if they want to have like a coffee sleeve, so they don't burn their hands. We'd ask him this, and most of the time he'd say, no, sleeves are for sissies. Eventually, though, he started saying, no, sleeves are for sissies and queers.
And oh no! Like right to you, he'd say that.
Yeah,
oh,
he didn't know. If only he knew you were a sissy.
Yeah, if only he knew you were.
And I eventually like asked my boss, I asked the manager, as like, hey, because it was open that I was gay there, and I was like, hey, I'm not really comfortable with this scenario. Can we tell him to stop? And she's like, well, okay, we got to talk to corporate. And like next day she got back to me, is like, no, we can't do anything. You just have to take that.
Well, that was like when we had kids. You've heard all my different stories about people calling their kids faggots at the Explorer.
Yeah.
And, like, I couldn't really do anything. I didn't like it, but it was like I can't.
I actually thought of a solution. In hindsight or whatever, what you should have done is you should have like waved your arms, said some magic words like hetero erectus, and then said, "There, now the heart is straight."
Yeah. Well, what actually our corporate solution was what we were supposed to say, and it was a cute line. I don't know if it would have really worked, but if that sort of thing came up, where people were giving like little boys trouble for wanting to get like a heart or a rainbow, especially the heart, but it was like we were just supposed to say, well, everybody has a heart, like, which like that's cute, but you know, also
it never works.
Well, it's also
because...
you're telling this to like an Alabama ex-convict. He's gonna like punch you in the face. I'll fucking make a heart in you, boy.
Hey. Who knows? Maybe convicts not in Alabama would also punch you in the face.
Yeah. No, I've met, I mean, when I worked at restaurants in St. Louis, I met convicts who were pretty nice guys generally, but
sure,
they were usually like, you know, they were out on like drug stuff and whatnot. So if you ever want to have pizza made by someone who's been in jail, order pizza in St. Louis. I guarantee you, it's gonna be made by someone who has been to federal prison.
So does that enhance the flavor?
Yes, I would recommend going to Emo's or Cecil Whitaker's. They are mostly staffed by guys who have been to prison.
And legitimately, like, you know, okay, so if you haven't had St. Louis pizza, I don't know if you like it because apparently a lot of people don't. I really do, not having grown up in St. Louis.
St. Louis style pizza, yes.
Oh, fair enough. St. Louis style.
Was it like shaped like an arc?
No, it's cut in squares for one, and it's very, very thin.
Like, if you think of like thin crust pizza, you want to go like a quarter of that thinness, and that's how thin you're talking.
And we use Provel cheese, which some people really like. Other people think it tastes like plastic. Mileage may vary. I love St. Louis style pizza. I grew up with it, so of course I do. But
to be fair, it does kind of taste like plastic, but so does really most cheese in the U.S. Like if you go with like,
hey, when did Billy get here?
Well, you know, just like Kraft American cheese. It's got like, it's tough.
It's a little, it's got a bit more bite to it, so it's not for everybody. But I love.
Pretty sure that's not actually cheese.
There's Bryce coming in.
Bryce here.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I heard you earlier, and I only sound slightly gayer than Chad. Slightly.
Okay.
No, you sound less gay than Chad, honestly. Okay. Like now that I hear Chad all the time, but I've only, I haven't met you too often, unfortunately. So getting really the chance to compare, thinking about it.
According to my friends who I used to play Destiny online with, my gayest sounding friend is Ralph, so don't worry.
Is who?
Is Ralph.
I've actually never heard him speak. He just kind of smiled and waved at me when I saw him.
Oh, okay. He was at the wedding. But yeah, he has.
Yeah.
He has like this gay Mexican accent. It's lovely.
He's very lovely.
Probably. Yeah, he probably has like a little bit of a lisp because that's actually part of that's part of the Spanish accent. That's
yes.
Not part
no,
of
I
accent.
tried to explain that
so
to my
like
buddies. I was like, no,
whammy.
he's not. He doesn't sound. He is gay. He doesn't sound gay. He just sounds Mexican. And they were like, no. He sounds gay and Mexican. I was like, God damn it.
Yes.
I'm like, yes, he is gay, but he doesn't sound that gay. And they're like, yes, he does.
He sounds more Mexican than he sounds gay.
See,
like,
they thought he
as
just
well,
sounded completely gay. So this is just according to my.
If it helps, my gaydar is like non-functional, so I just couldn't pick it up.
Chad?
Oh, see you later, Noble Indigo. Thanks for popping in, man. Hey, Provel does not taste like plastic. It only tastes like plastic to people who don't have a refined St. Louis palate. Thank you very much.
No. I should clarify. I didn't say it tastes like plastic. It has the texture of plastic. That's very different.
It's just tough.
Well, no,
it's
the
tougher.
other Dutch guy in here is like shitting on us and our cheese taste.
How dare
To which
ya.
I say, oot voot voot schmoot to you, buddy.
There you go. Fuck them up. We import our cheese from. This is St. Louis cheese, grown and raised. Actually, I have no idea if that's how it works, but I like Provel. So
It comes from trees.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I feel like most U.S. cheese just comes from Wisconsin.
probably.
The cheese
Or Vermont.
state.
Is Vermont? No, Vermont's not in Wisconsin. Is it?
Vermont's a state.
Yeah, Vermont's in Wisconsin.
It's where fucking Maine.
That's where Bernie's
Everybody
from.
just said 3 different things. Hold on. Which is Vermont?
It's a weird-looking state next to Maine.
It's a state next to
Yeah,
Maine?
Maine. You know the one that's shaped like a mitten with the Upper Peninsula?
No, that's
right by
Michigan.
Wisconsin?
I live there. I know
That's
that one.
Maine.
No, you're tricking
Maine
me.
also looks like a mitten.
Maine does also look like a mitten. You are correct.
Who are you? Who am I? What's happening? Where the fuck is
Are
Vermont?
there any other mitten-shaped states I should know about?
I know, and he was on the show forever ago. I wish we could get him back because I really liked him. But Captain Video, he's from Vermont, so.
Oh yeah.
I missed that guy. He was a good dude. I don't know where he went. I think the cat box kind of fell apart, and he was just a writer, so he went on his merry way. But me and that guy really vibed well, so I should send him an email sometime. See how he's doing.
Ask him about his famous Vermont cheeses.
I just know that Vermont is known for its cheese.
Is it?
Yeah, there's even a line in the movie "Thank You for Smoking" about it.
Oh.
Yeah, where the guy's like, "We are from Vermont and we are proud of ourselves and our cheeses." He says something like that, but I always thought it was really funny. I mean, it's a good movie, and "Thank You for Smoking," great film. So.
See, I only knew it as like the Texas of New England because it was like an independent republic for a short time, and then it like got annexed. Yeah.
Oh.
Look it up, Vermont Republic. I'm actually not bullshitting you here.
I know you're not. You tend not to. So.
I don't. I needed clarification.
Well, while you do your clarifying, I'm gonna take a whizzer and get some more beer. But keep this going. While we try to figure out where the fuck is Vermont a state? Is it Maine? Is it Michigan? Is it the capital of Michigan?
It's
Nobody
like
knows.
between New York and Maine.
Okay, but is it a state or is it a city? Because I heard both.
Oh my god.
It's a state.
It's a state. Okay,
I've been
Vermont
there.
is a
Yeah.
state. We have confirmed Vermont is a state. Dan went there.
It's fucking New England area.
Okay, it's in the
Yeah, New England. You know, that's right by Minnesota. It's right between Michigan.
in Springfield where the Simpsons live. Got it.
God, this is causing my brain to hurt.
It's like, yeah.
All right, so now that Kit stepped away, do we just let the conversation die and just like wait in complete silence until he comes back?
Oh.
Okay, he's safe from the other end. He's demanding that we speak. Let's see. What are
yeah, on the Vermont Republic page, there is a map, and it shows where Vermont is, and it does, in fact, have Maine highlighted for some reason, and I don't know why Maine is highlighted.
It probably
but it is.
because
What the fuck?
that's probably because that's the only like reference that most Americans can remember to figure out where Vermont is.
It was probably designed for the kits of the world to show them where Maine and Vermont are, because apparently we don't know where Maine is.
What? No. Maine's easy to remember. It's like, oh, it's the upper right pointy end of the country.
Yep.
That's Maine.
Yeah, it's the
that's
one
all
that's
you have to
north of-
remember.
It's the one furthest north, unless you count
There's
Alaska.
practically nothing in that state. It's very cold.
In Maine or Alaska?
Maine.
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 Oh.
It is very barren. There's like nothing up there.
Really? I didn't think it
Yeah.
was. Oh,
Yeah.
I actually
So
thought.
Stephen King was actually hired by the government of Maine to make shit up to make Maine interesting.
That's funny.
That sounds correct. That sounds like something the government would do. Pay writers like, hey, you're going to write these horror novels, but you're also writing Maine propaganda.
Right. Well, I mean, it makes Maine interesting, but it also scares people away from it so that they don't come check it out and find out, oh, it's not interesting. It's just Maine.
God damn it, why didn't we do that here?
What?
God damn it, that's the best idea.
What, in Colorado?
Yeah, it would have been a good idea.
What, to scare
Yeah,
people?
but you have South Park.
Dude, there's nothing in South Park. It's literally the same kind of thing. It's fucking a giant empty field. Oh, that's part of the joke, I suppose, but yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's
But
nothing.
it's
like,
a giant backyard. You can fuck around.
Pretty much. It's actually so dark there that you can see the galaxy.
that's cool. Yeah,
that is pretty cool.
So I'm guessing it's like just not a whole lot of light pollution.
Bingo. There's like, as far as I know, all that's actually there is a gas station, and that's it.
Oh man, yeah, it sucks because we now live basically, it's technically not a metro area, but it's the next best thing, and there's so much light here all the time that you just can't see. You look up and you can see jack shit most nights.
Same.
Yeah, same here. It never used to be like that, but all of a sudden, boom, the little college town just like exploded, and they like tore up all the ranches and stuff, and like built these huge buildings and everything.
Well, I'm sorry that the colleges stole your galaxies.
Yeah. I gotta see him down here. One of the best experiences I had was I had a night jump. This was like freaking 1 a.m. jumping out, and I'm like, oh no, I can't see shit. It's like, no, I can see all the things, and it was like a huge blanket of stars in the sky, and like I can actually see the ground, the moonlight, and everything. It was like the coolest jump I did, but it was fucking cold that night.
Yeah. Did you pretend like you were an astronaut?
Actually, yeah.
You dork.
It's like super quiet. Like once you're in the air, and like, wow, this is very peaceful.
Hey, why not?
Start humming like Space Odyssey
It's
to yourself.
It's crazy because inside the aircraft, it's loud as shit. You know, there's a lot of movements, vibrations. Like, holy fuck, I can't stand up straight. And then once you're out, it's like, wow, this is cool.
Well, I mean, rocket ships are kind of like that. You know, they're super noisy, and then once you get out into outer space, you don't have any noise anymore. So it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should move over to the Space Force, and then hopefully there'll be mobile suits in the future.
Oh my god, wouldn't that be grand?
And then we can fight assholes on Mars.
The United States of
Yeah, that'd be
space.
good.
We'll have our own space
The
colonies.
United Space of America.
Okay. Oh, that's terrible. Do you think like Biden's just going to can the Space Force?
No!
I mean,
no.
The worst.
I mean, he's already done away with the executive orders that like cut medicine and insulin and other shit for people because the idiot did it or whatever. So
Yeah, I mean, sure, but you have to do those. I'm just wondering why, or if he will do like Space Force as well, since that's Military Monday and that's cool.
I don't think so. I think that it'll probably stay around. There's somewhat of a point to it, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean,
I'm just not
Russia
entirely
has one.
sure. Does it have a Space Force now?
they did like back in the early 2000s, and it kind of sort of went away, but it's kind of sort of still around. So
They're the ones who did the hacking. That's the truth. That's what Space
they're
Force
going
does.
to hack into an asteroid and send it flying to the United States.
That sounds plausible. It's like they hack alien asteroid technology and use it to. That's their goal, is to use the asteroids from alien like home worlds.
We talking Space Force?
We are talking Space Force.
Hell
It's
yeah.
Russian Space Force.
Oh, okay. Listen, whenever he gets this Gundams and mobile suits faster, that's what I'm about.
That's what Dan was saying. Like I was saying earlier, of course. Oh yeah, you heard that part because everyone heard you screaming. Yeah, Biden's going to use an executive order to get rid of Space Force since it was a Trump project.
No, he reinstated
Yeah, no,
Trump's
listen
like
here,
immigration policies, so it's all good. We're fine. He did do
but
that.
he got rid of Trump's policies that lowered medicine for people like people I know. So
Cool. That's good. There's a lot of progress. The
Yeah,
progress is
I
always
mean-
happening. Let's unity and healing forever.
At least we don't have an orange idiot in charge.
Yeah,
That's true. Biden is certainly not orange.
He's very, very pale.
Now you listen here, Jack.
Like, I do like him as a character.
I might be.
I like Biden. He's funny. Like, I don't know, just watching him.
Dude, I love how
watching him kind of cluelessly amble around and just be like, yeah, whatever, huh? Like,
I wish I could say that. Unfortunately, I just don't actually take time to watch Biden talk.
I mean, I don't either.
He doesn't do anything. He just like hides. Like his staffers like hide him from everyone because they're so afraid.
He's gonna like fall over or drool or something. It's the funniest thing, yeah.
Or he's going to like chase his dog around the house naked, trying to pull its tail and slip and break a leg or something.
Oh no!
Did you see the animation of that they did for the Dick Show?
No.
Yeah.
Oh right. I forgot the whole thing about the fucking dog.
He like got out. He tells the weirdest story about like chasing his dog naked. I was like, yeah, this is good. This is what I want out of this. Like people are like, oh, Trump, Biden, they're all bad. I'm like, no. This is both of these. This is what I want out of presidencies. Non-stop disasters. That's all I want.
Who wouldn't want a president who like just comes out and says shit like this? It's like
why not?
Free entertainment.
Yeah, like you can't do anything about it. It might as well be funny. Like
I know, right?
Come on,
like they might have
nay on the dog nay. I don't know.
He got out of the shower to play naked with his dog and slipped on the tile. That's a real story he told on microphones. It's great.
Yeah, and he was talking about trying to pull his dog's tail, and it's like, who besides like 2-year-olds tries to pull dogs' tails?
2-year-olds and dementia patients. So there you go. Why not? Who cares? What are you gonna do about it? If you try and stop it, the Secret Service will put a bullet in your ass. So fuck it.
So I gotta ask, do you think he was wearing his sunglasses at the time? Because it's like he never takes those things off.
I hope so. I hope he wears those in the shower. Because the shower's too bright.
I'm not knocking him for it. I'm not like making fun of him. I think it's like legitimately pretty fucking cool that you have a president who wears shades all the time.
At all times, yeah. Just no, I do that at conventions. I always wear
when he sleeps.
I wear when
you have a legit razor.
Wait.
Yeah. What's up?
Does that mean he doesn't have eyes?
Maybe. Well, there was that one picture that came out where he had like all the blood in his eyes. You can Google that. Yeah, and it's like
stress from inheriting the Trump administration.
Well, this was before that. He was like on the campaign trail, and like one of his eyes, like.
Well, that's the stress of knowing that you're going to win and inherit the Trump administration.
I mean, that would be a stressful position to be in. Let's be honest.
What if he thinks he's Scott Summers or some shit?
Maybe he is. I don't know. But yeah, there's that picture where like a blood vessel bursts in his eye, and it looks like he's like crying blood. So he probably wears sunglasses because of that. Well, remember,
that means
they just fall off, and his eyes are like red, as in just like a solid shade of red.
Yeah, like an anime character. That's good. That's what we want.
Like Dr. Robotnik.
Like Dr.
No, I was going to say it's like, like a Kakashi from Naruto. Having like the red eye patch, and that's Joe Biden.
Yeah, man, we elected President Kakashi.
That was him activating his
Naruto president.
Yeah, the first.
Yeah, that was him activating his Sharingan.
I'm gonna die.
Now listen here, Jack. I destroyed that village to test my powers.
I'm gonna die. I can't do this. Anime presidencies. This is the state of American politics. Like, there's no point to talking about it seriously because no one knows what's true anymore. So we'll just all talk about it in terms of animes. We understand those make more sense than American politics.
I don't know. I've read Bleach.
Well, we're not going to compare it to Bleach. That's just...
So can we get Kun as president?
Or One Piece.
One Piece is still One Piece is so long. Like, that's too complicated.
It doesn't end. This is not even work.
We checked today. One Piece at 98 collected volumes. Coming up on 99 and 100.
Yeah, One Piece is awesome.
One Piece. I like Ichiro Oda.
Yo,
you know I sing.
Go.
Oh.
Yayo, yayo. Uh-oh. Oh no.
Oh.
See, I kind of want to do something like that for False Start, where it's like a 4Kids rap version of False Start. That way people know what it's about.
Oh, thank you. I love that.
That it would tell people what it's about. That's kind of the whole bag of a 4Kids rap.
Well, good luck writing. I actually, God, I don't know if I have it anymore, but I did write a Vampire Hunter Boyfriends theme set to the tune of DuckTales that actually worked pretty well. I don't know if I still have that. I don't know if I
did not expect DuckTales.
See, I wrote a Vampire Hunter Boyfriends jingle where it's like, they're Vampire Hunter boyfriends, what will they do naked next?
They don't do everything. Well, they are in the middle of a naked chase scene, so yeah, there's a lot of nudity.
They've had two doing things naked scenes, and so far there have been 3 scenes in the comic.
Okay, well. Alright, yeah.
His name's Leon, he ain't no peon.
They fucked well, they had 2 half fuck scenes, both interrupted. 1 full fuck scene naked. They had a fight scene that was naked. Now they're in a chase scene that's naked. So yeah, there's a lot of nudity. And I probably
They talked to a couple dudes while having clothes on, so I think they're currently even on talking to people nude while talking to people naked. They're like half and half.
You know, I want to see them do taxes naked.
Well, I don't know if they have. Well, I don't know. See, now I'm actually thinking lore-wise how that would work. I'm immediately taking that seriously, even though I know it's a joke. I'm like, well, in the lore of the world, taxes would work. And I'm like, shut up, kid, shut up. Like, they're naked a lot. Yeah, sure. I've got my interests. I just wanted to write a fun comic, okay?
Oh, God, like that poor kid Camille getting chased around like a Muppet, like his namesake.
Oh,
actually,
Camille, yeah, he's named after Camille from Zeta.
It's pretty funny because like he's like kind of in a situation I could actually see Camille in, and he's just like, yeah, I can see this happening.
Well, what's funny was I created the character when I hadn't even watched all of Zeta. I had only watched a few episodes, but I just liked that name, and I liked the whole, oh, isn't Camille a girl's name joke? And I was like, oh, let's just go with that for this character.
Yeah.
And then,
okay.
Does he throw a disabled guy off a cliff?
I hope so.
So that's the thing, is that you need to have Camille like not hit all the story beats that Camille
he doesn't get PTSD and go insane. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, I think that's the one necessary one. That's like how his arc ends. But have it only be like, have him go through like all of like the Zeta recovery the double Zeta recovery in like 2 pages.
No, there's plans for what to do with Camille from VHB. His whole thing is basically that he's stuck with a bunch of horny, idiotic adults, and he hates it because he's 15 and he's just trying to be a good Boy Scout, essentially. And he's stuck with all these lunatics.
Oh, okay. So now he's also like, then he's like Kotz then, because like Kotz is like the idiot child that's stuck.
He's more competent than Kotz.
Oh no.
Kotz is no, he's not Kotz.
Why would you compare someone to Kotz? That's so mean.
No,
this kid is so stupid. He literally smashes into an asteroid and dies.
In the funniest scene in the history of anime. Let's not,
We
died laughing.
I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in the show.
For a show that is otherwise very serious and very well written, and has great dramatic pacing.
Every other death made me like upset and sad, but it's like
when Kotz dies, it's the funniest thing.
Kotz is the fucking worst because he's barely competent and he's constantly causing every single problem that the damn ship deals with, and then he dies in a fucking comedy cut.
Yeah, like they even cut it like a comedy. Like it's not cut like a dramatic death. It is shot and cut like it is a comedic event. And I mean, it worked. We laughed.
Yeah. But I don't think that's what Tomino was going for.
Or was he? I don't know.
Did he really just hate COTS that much?
Or did he realize the audience hated COTS and was like, fuck it. Let's throw him a bone. Yeah, COTS is... Anyway, sorry to get on too much Gundam talk. Like, Gundam is so weird. It's one of those things where if you know the jokes, they're hilarious. If you don't, they just sound like total gibberish. But Gundam... Yeah, but yeah, I did name a character in VHB after a Gundam character. Back when I wasn't even that into Gundam, I just did it for fun, and then it panned out in a funny way, so...
It worked out.
It worked out.
This may or may not be partly my fault.
Yeah, a little bit. You kept me on the Gundam train. It helps that those models are so affordable and so pretty. And I was like, I wish I could know more about this, and so I did. Plus, it doesn't hurt that the season collections on Blu-ray are exceedingly cheap now. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, especially now that a lot of that shit's just available on YouTube because, like.
Yeah, Bandai's putting up a lot of it just for free. They're doing good by me.
Or even in general, it's odd because I remember like the shift from you being able to find anything on YouTube to there being a big crackdown. And anytime there was like a major release, or any type of movie release, it would be like immediately taken down off of YouTube.
Yeah.
And now it's getting to the point where not only can you like buy movies to watch on YouTube, but some are just uploaded for free.
Yeah, companies are putting their stuff up on there just to keep it alive and not have to do like an expensive physical release. They're just like, oh, you want to watch Gundam F91? Yeah, Bandai put that on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll put that there, and we'll just collect ad money for people watching this whenever they want.
Well, because it's probably cheaper than being like, hey, let's do another physical release of this where we got to ship it all over the world. It's like, yeah, now it's just on YouTube.
Or even it's like, hey, it's easier than to like, hey, let's see if Netflix wants to pay for this. It's like, no, just put it on YouTube.
You own it.
Get ad money. Yeah, put on YouTube, get ad or ad money, or like the alternative of being a YouTube Premium, like bucks, because some of that is like, oh, they skip the ads, we get money from their watches.
I know it makes me happy. It's super cool, and I'm glad some companies are leaning into it the way that they are.
Speaking of, this is a non Gundam thing, but related to stuff on YouTube. One of my favorite movies I recently found out is currently on YouTube for free. And it is like an official thing. It's not like uploaded by some weirdo, but it's a Japanese film called Tag from 2015.
Oh, yeah, we have to talk up Tag. It's the greatest feminist film ever made. And that's not even me being ironic. Tag is excellent.
It is the most shitballs insane, like, combination grindhouse art house film, and I suggest going into it as blind as fucking possible.
I'm actually going to post a link to it in the chat because I love this movie and I want more people to see it.
Yeah, watch the first 3 or 4 minutes, and if you're not sold by
what occurs in that first 5 minutes, nothing can sell you.
Yeah, that's basically what you're looking for in the whole fucking movie, is summed up in the first 5 minutes, and it's incredible.
And it is the link I posted is the full film, totally legal, and it is free on YouTube. There's ads, unless you have YouTube Red or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's just premium now, I think.
Yeah, it's not YouTube porn or whatever they were calling it. But yeah, that movie is incredible.
Watch it on the free internet store?
The free internet store, yeah, where my brother gets all our music. You've got a good memory for my weird stories.
Yeah,
not
this is
available.
why
Oh, it's not available in the UK. Oh, that sucks, man.
Hey, maybe have you heard of NordVPN?
Just go to NordVPN/Bonitis and if only.
That
won't
work.
Watch it.
We're unfortunately not sponsored by NordVPN.
Do NordVPN / Internet Historian, and
it's worth it. That guy needs more money for his ads.
I want that guy to be a billionaire. It is not available in Europe. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That sucks. And this is Tag, the Japanese film, not the American Jeremy Renner film. Very different movies. People.
God.
Yeah, people always think we're talking about like that shit Jeremy Renner comedy. It's like, no, we're talking about the Japanese feminist horror film Tag, and it is unlike anything I've ever watched. It's awesome.
Speaking of which, did you hear that they're going to be remaking like what is it, Last Train to Busan?
What? Why that
movie? And I'm like,
already?
Why?
Wait, remaking it as an American film?
But
yes.
It's basically a Hollywood movie.
Yeah,
like,
it's already
it
like a perfect action film.
Too Asian. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Too many squinty eyes.
Oh, sad. Yeah, I mean, like, I know you're not wrong. You're putting it in like the worst way possible, but you're also putting it in the most true way possible. So,
like, yeah, because like Hollywood has this weird thing with like Asian actors. Are like, no, we can't have Asians. It's okay if you're black, but we can't have somebody that's.
We're not.
Asian.
Yeah, we're not ready for Asians yet. We're ready.
Yeah, because they're weirdly.
We're good with black
everyone
people,
in,
but
like,
Asians we're not ready
LA.
for that.
No, I'm serious. Everyone in California, but especially LA, is like just weirdly racist against Asians, and like I've had
taking all their
people who
tech
have like.
jobs.
Fucking racist.
Sorry, Dan. Dan, our token Asian.
No, I have relatives in Los Angeles, and they've actually been through the '92 riot shit.
Oh, the roof Koreans, the real roof Koreans, right?
Yeah, they were there.
The greatest American heroes.
Yeah, unfortunately, things are actually really bad for Asians right now in California, like, because, like, people are randomly attacking them.
Oh, no! Be nice to Asians.
I
yeah.
heard stories about, like, a rise of, anti-Asian American violence, but I really don't know any specifics other than, like, rumors that it was happening, which...
No, it's definitely true.
Which I just, I just relate it to, obviously the... rumors about prejudice about the coronavirus, and it spread, but
it's
I don't know if there's anything more than that.
And they want to treat us like we're fucking white people when they're just being assholes all the fucking time. It's weird because people up north, like, come from Maryland, they're like, oh, these people in the South, they're super racist. You're like, actually, no, they've been super nice to me. You guys were the racist fucks. Fuck you guys.
I know.
That people don't know how to just treat each other like humans. It's crazy. This show worked a lot better when I was in college, and we were just like, oh, this race stuff, who cares? Let's just get along. If there's cultural differences, we'll just talk about them, and then we'll get over it. And that's what we did, and it worked. And then I got out of college, and everybody was like, fuck that shit, we're done!
Yeah, what the fuck ever happened to that? I thought that was, like, super easy.
Thanks, Obama. No, just kidding. Far leftists consider Asians.
Yeah, as we all know, Obama really hates Asians. Like, that's what he's most known for.
That's true. His anti-Asian rhetoric was very clear. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. No,
this has been conservative talking points with Kit.
Oh God, no! I'm done with that culture war crap. I'm
done with this shit.
I've had.
But it's such a good business model.
Yeah, maybe for Ethan Van Sciver, but like those guys kind of lucked into that, and it's probably gonna haunt them for the rest of their fucking lives.
Yeah, no shit.
Plus, while they were doing it, they forgot to make any good comics, so oopsies.
Actually, we can't say that about Cyberfrog because we haven't read it.
I know. I have a feeling it's not great. We know the video game looks like shit, so there's that.
Oh, that never succeeded.
Did that not get funded? Did that not get funded?
No, it didn't.
It looked like Dookie. Yeah. Damn it, we fucking said the same thing.
It looked like Dookie, and not even as good as the Green Day album of the same name. So. That's a great album.
What about the dog from Johnny Test?
Is his name Dookie?
Yes.
That is right.
I don't know. I never watched Johnny Test. That was like on Cartoon Network when I was in college, so I didn't catch that one.
Oh, you are old.
I'm 32. Yes.
No, I remember that. It was like middle high school for me, and I was like, oh no, I'm watching anime because I'm a fucking dweeb.
The only Cartoon Network show I kept up with in college was Venture Brothers. So.
And that's Adult Swim, so that barely counts.
Yeah. It was like a thing. We would get together on Sunday nights at our buddy's house that had cable, and we would watch the new Venture Brothers episodes when they came out. Otherwise, we were just constantly drawing. The only pop culture we kept up. Well, we go to the movies. And we'd read comics.
Yeah.
So, but TV, none of us had cable. We were in like dorms or apartments. We're like, we're not getting that shit installed. Who cares? We're gonna be here for like a year and then.
Oh, so when I was in college, at least the 1 year I was in a dorm, I remember that I think it was like the dorm just had like a cable that you could plug into, like there was always a port.
Okay.
So you could access those channels. I think that's how it worked. As long as you had like a physical cable on a TV that could like plug into it.
Ours varied by dorm, but I actually lived in my girlfriend's apartment for most of college, so I did not have cable.
Yeah, that's a completely different situation.
It sure was.
And that would have been before, streaming services weren't really a thing at that point.
We streamed Netflix was just starting to have streaming stuff because that's how me and my girlfriend would watch The Office.
Because I remember
we were
when
streaming The Office on Netflix, even back in 2009.
I remember back in the day, like one of the first really big streaming shows that they tried to push was Netflix would essentially, it wasn't like a simulcast, but would next day upload episodes of Heroes like the day after they broadcast.
Oh, okay.
And so that was my first introduction to like
religiously.
I watched the shit out of Heroes because I had the worst case of like holding out hope
of it getting better.
No.
Yeah. Well, the first season was real good.
The first, I did have over a decade later, go back and watch the first season of Heroes with me because
I'd never seen it.
That was great. It's really good. And then I said, all right, it has a fine ending. Like there's a silly little cliffhanger for like a maybe story. You don't need to know what happens next.
Yeah,
just
because
let this be the
AJ had me
end.
watch that first season, and I was like, "Oh, that was great." Oh, there's a cliffhanger. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, okay. Don't worry about that. Okay.
No, the second season is what happened right as the
writer's
2000s
strike.
writer's strike, which just killed every show on television at the time.
That was right while I was in college. I remember that.
Yeah, but no, it was that show. And we watched. I remember my family watched a bunch of Monk at the time. I think was the show we were watching.
I've never seen that one. That show looks.
I guess you should have returned to Monk.
What?
Chat would get it.
Oh.
That show always looked. I'm not gonna lie. That show always looked super gay, so I never watched it. I was like,
oh, it is, but like crime serials are really, really easy to consume, and like your brain only has to sort of be working.
Like that was like the show that my brother would make fun of as like a bad cable show. He's like, "You want to watch Monk?" And I'll be like, Gannon watched a lot of shows back then, so.
No, we liked it because it was just a bare minimum, like, oh, crime serial, figure out who done it, but also there are these goofy characters because it's a USA show and USA's garbage. Yeah. But yeah, that was basically it. let's see. So that's one
Television when we were in college. It's changed rapidly.
Well, yeah, now like television shows can actually be good, which is hilarious.
But a lot of times they still aren't.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
See, when I was in college, though, you've seen it. I have that massive DVD collection, and that was like the thing was to go through my DVD collection because I had them all organized in those binders. I had a ton of them. I had whole series and seasons of shows. Oh yeah. And now it's like, why the fuck would you have a million DVDs? You can just stream this. And then I tell people to shut up. Because those were very expensive back in the day, and now they cost fucking nothing.
No, it's been great. We can go and get like the Blu-rays or DVD collections of old shows. Like we just kind of on a whim, we picked up the DVD case for Mushishi, which we've both always wanted to watch.
Well, it never had a Blu-ray release, so yeah, we got the DVD.
Well, yeah, DVD.
Hey, I had to buy the DVD twice because the first time I bought it, it got stolen off the porch.
But yeah, it still costs what, like $10?
$20.
Okay, here's the problem with Musashi. It's really good, but there's a good chance you'll actually fall asleep watching it.
I don't mind.
Very low key.
I like low key, slow stuff. I don't mind that stuff that's like too energetic. I find annoying. So. Plus, I want to see the live-action film because it's Katsuhiro Otomo directed, and obviously, I love Mr. Otomo a whole bunch.
Which, it's still the weirdest thing when we saw. It was like, oh, it's live-action film, and we assumed, like, I feel like half the live-action films in Japan are made by was the guy who did 13 Assassins.
Oh god, what's his name? He does like a million billion films. He's done so many.
He does.
Takashi Miike?
Yes, Takashi Miike. Yes.
Yeah, because he's done so many, including like various live-action
anime adaptations.
A few of which we've seen, none of which are good.
He's not a terrible director, but he just does so much that his work just kind of ends up being all over the place.
Yeah, I've seen 3 of his anime adaptations. 2 I saw with Kid. One was
it was Diamond is Unbreakable, which was terrible.
Breakable Part 1, and then the other one was
Blade of the Immortal, which also sucked.
Blade of the Immortal, which was also terrible. And then I've also seen, and I saw this with my ex, was Phoenix Wright. And that film is like incredibly stupid in the best way.
He said it's pretty fun.
Like it's really fun. Like if you've played the game, you won't be surprised because it's the same story beat for beat. But the way he decided to like direct the whole film makes it seem like every character is as incompetent as he could possibly portray them, and it ends up just being really, really funny. With the main villain, or the actor who does the main villain, forgetting, not Miles Edgeworth, but the Von Karma, I think was his name, and that actor just eats it the fuck up. It's great.
He does a good job when he has those kind of hammy actors. At least in his more out there productions, but you see something like 13 Assassins, which is very, very like serious and played pretty.
It's
straight.
Very good,
and that's like an excellent film. But Takashi Miike, he's also he's like directed over 100 films, so he just like puts this shit out. So I don't think you can expect every single one or even the majority to be that good because he's just a machine.
Yeah. No, I a lot of the stuff that are like really big, like passion projects of his, like the stuff that he helped work to actually create and write on, that stuff tends to be better, but he just gets hired for so much garbage.
Yeah, I have his film Ichi the Killer, which people say is good, but I haven't gotten to watch it yet, so... I know it's like super, super violent, but I don't necessarily mind that.
I mean, so is 13 Assassins.
This is like torture porn violence, though.
Oh.
Yeah, this is like Japan's Eli Roth type thing. Which, I like Eli Roth. Like, I thought Green Inferno was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, so... That movie's hilarious, and I was, like, the only person to see it in theaters. It was me, and it was me and a couple old people that all walked out, so... No, that is one of those films. My brother had a similar experience when he went to see Bruno in theaters.
Why would old people go to see those movies?
Because old people
Because
just
they don't
see
know any
anything.
better?
They just go to the theater, and
They
if they don't
just
like it, they
go.
just leave. They don't care. They're gonna die soon. If it's not worth their
I
time.
mean, no. Kid is absolutely right. That's just what they just go.
Yeah, and if they don't like it, they just leave. They don't care.
Oh, this is so weird.
They have nothing else to do.
I mean,
just
it's
waiting to
sad, but
die.
it's true.
Don't boo. You know I'm not wrong.
No, he's absolutely right.
I'm not booing. I'm laughing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just doing the Hannibal Buress line. Why are you booing? You know I'm right. Like, I love that bit. Apologies if you guys hear.
Yeah, look at the stuff that we have to look forward to when we get older. Just
Hell
like
yeah.
old, and just be like
older.
Yeah, I mean, if any of us make it, we'll see. We'll see who gets that far.
I will.
I know you will.
I have no doubt in my family lineage of being able to live. We live forever until we kill ourselves.
Jesus, your family, they're like unkillable.
No, it's like, God, it was like the weirdest thing where, it was like one day it was like, yeah, on my side of the family, no one has died of a natural death for 3 decades. They all just killed themselves when they got too old and tired.
They're just bored.
Oh my god.
That's not a joke. It was like finally my grandmother passed away, and she was like the first one in decades.
But even her, it was just like she was like a vegetable practically.
Yeah, she was like dementia.
Didn't
blind,
she have like a
diabetic.
didn't she have like a do not resuscitate thing going on too?
Yeah, because she didn't want to kill herself, but she also wanted to die.
She was ready to go.
Terrible.
I'm tired of this world.
She
Yes,
was.
unironically. It's like, I know I'm laughing, but it is like really sad.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh shit! Sorry.
No, only because family had to deal with that.
I know.
But anyway.
Yeah, my dad he's turning 80, and as he gets older, he gets only more cantankerous and grumpy.
That sounds like that's just old people in general.
Yeah, my grandpa was like that before he passed.
Oh, my grandparents are dead. They've been dead for a while.
Personality-wise, he's mellowed out a lot, but he's like I can't explain it. Like if you watch what is that movie what is that what am I thinking of that movie with Clint Eastwood?
Miike? Did he direct it?
No.
All right, that narrows it down.
The Mule?
No, it's like he's kind of like one of those characters from like Old Country from No Men, or what is that movie? I'm thinking of El Camino, but that's not what I'm.
The Mule.
Gran Torino.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
he's kind of like that. Yes, very much so.
Okay, that's cool though. That guy was cool. Clint Eastwood's character.
He was
in
like-
that?
Yeah, he was old and still managed to figure out how to not be racist. It was very hopeful.
He learned.
Yeah.
But it
He's
still
kinda
got him
like-
killed.
like-
He was so not racist, it got him murdered by Asians. Oh no!
Oh, that's explained.
Sorry, Dan. Dan, you killed Clint Eastwood, you bastard.
No, there's good Asians and there's Bad Asians. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad ones
Oh
in this
no,
world.
I wasn't saying that at all. Disavow.
So Dan, how can you tell which ones are the good Asians and which ones are the bad ones?
Oh God, this is being recorded.
Oh, it's wait, how do I? No,
listen, kid. I'm asking an Asian man, so it's okay.
Okay, you're right.
Ask a Asian man.
Yeah, it's mostly a cultural thing.
No, I'm sure.
No, it's been like this for like thousands of years. Like, it got to the point that my ancestors got wiped out like twice in history.
Well, I remember you were telling me about like I think it was your grandparents. You said they wanted you to marry like another Asian. They were like, no, you have to marry an Asian.
That's my parents. My grandpa stopped giving a shit. He's like,
Okay.
dude, like it's your life. Like my grandpa's cool. Like, he's like, dude, just live however you want.
Man, awesome based grandpa.
Yeah.
Because he knows what it's like. Like, he got shot at by the Japanese like during the fucking 40s.
See, Asian on Asian
Yeah,
violence on the rise.
Yeah. And then,
In the 40s.
and then he had to deal with the Chinese in the 50s too. So that was like, god damn it.
Man, your grandpa
And then he's like,
got shot at by a lot
He's
of
like-
different ethnicities from Asia.
And he's like, fuck this, I'm moving to America, and that's actually what happened.
Good for him.
So he's like, yeah, just find whatever you want. But my parents are like, real stuck up about. I was like, no, you guys stay with your kind of like, all right, fuck this. I ain't talking to you guys for a while.
Nah, you gotta go for one of those countries where the women are real loose. That's where you'll get it. That's easy.
Shoot, like
Vermont?
even like growing up, even within my own ethnicity, like we have a lot of tension between guys who are fresh off the boat versus the guys who were born in the States.
Yeah.
Because we're like, yeah, the kids who are fresh off the boat think they're fucking superior.
Oh, really?
So,
That's like
yeah.
a thing?
It is a thing. So I never got along with kids that look like me. He's like, oh, you can't do math. I was like, well, you can't speak English, motherfucker. So fuck you.
Oh yeah, can you make an L sound? Fuck you. Like, throw it right back at him.
It's like, yeah. It's like, at least I can speak English. So fuck you.
I can say my L's and they don't sound like R's. Do as much trigonometry as you want, motherfucker. Like,
So is that like translated as like a xenophobia where they're just, oh yeah, we're in a different country, but we're still xenophobic for people who aren't actually from our country.
Like even the kids, like even people who are fresh off the boat, like yeah, we're better than these white people too. We're better than these black people. Like they think they're the hot shit.
Isn't it the weirdest things that people
it's
choose to divide themselves based on? Like none of that shit you're talking about matters at all, and people are like, yeah, this is it. This is what I'm gonna base myself on. It's like, it's so silly.
And like these people here, like, oh, these Asians get along. No, they've always hated each other for like thousands of years.
Well, yeah,
and
I was about to say, like, especially with Asians, but I thought you were talking about like even with specifically like within like Korean Americans and versus Korean immigrants specifically.
Oh yeah, like that is still a thing.
I don't know. That's just, to me, it's the same thing with like Catholics and Protestants now.
Yeah.
Where I get that there's baggage. Yeah,
Magic? Wait,
there's
hold
like
on,
there's.
I thought you said.
I meant baggage.
Bad
baggage.
There's bad magic between them.
Yeah, that's what I accidentally said because I've had alcohol and I'm a fucking lightweight.
The classic Helsing dichotomy of Catholics versus Protestants. Yes.
Yeah,
which monsters versus aliens.
Which is like, oh, I've heard of this. I know that this is apparently a thing. I just don't understand it at all.
Yeah, because like we don't. Why would you? Like to us, guys our age and that grew up the way you're, like, why would you care about that? But apparently, people used to really care about it. But we don't really understand why. It's like, why did you give a shit? This doesn't matter at all.
It mattered in old country.
It did, yeah. It's just, when growing up the way we did, it did not factor into anything other than maybe your parents would talk about it and you'd be like, huh, what? I just want to play Super Soakers with my friends. I don't care that they go to a different church than I do.
Yeah.
Like,
it even goes on the physical surface as well. Like, if you put myself next to, you know, my counterpart overseas, like physically, I'm either fatter or more built, and my counterparts look like fucking pretty boys from a
You're just
goddamn
like
anime.
you're just like kind of bigger overall. Like you just have like wider shoulders and.
Yeah, like I'm just more built, and it looks like my counterparts never lifted a day in their life.
Oh man.
I wouldn't have thought of that at all.
Yeah,
but I mean, if it's a thing, it's a thing. But
it's a thing, and then, you know, they look at me, he's like, yeah, you're ugly. It's like, well, fuck you.
no, you're ugly, and then you headbutt him with your superior large head.
It's like I can. It's like,
Everyone knows if you have a larger head, that makes you smarter.
Yeah. I'm hydrocephalic.
yeah,
Fuck
it's
you.
more
Bam.
It's like
Billy
I'm bigger
Quiz
than
Boy
you,
that shit.
and that means
Boom.
I have a bigger brain than you, so that means I'm smarter.
I had more nutrients.
I might be small, but I have a big brain.
No, when it comes to like that prejudice, the only time I really saw it even like that much of a little bit growing up, at least on a religious angle, was like a what would be the like Christian like religious fundamentalists, like the Bible needs to be interpreted very literally versus everyone else, and that wasn't necessarily like that wasn't like Catholics and Protestants. That was based. You could have like people in the same church who would disagree on that, and they would like want to rip each other's. Well, they wouldn't want to rip each other's throats out because that would be like failing God, but they would just snipe at each other, and it was really uncomfortable and awkward.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about because like I've seen that so much.
My folks were really bad about it because they were like very much non-fundamentalists, and we used to live in like I grew up in like semi-hick town, and everyone there was a religious fundamentalist who thought like, you know, creationist theory, the world was literally created in 7 days, all of that good stuff was
and that God and
Jonah was actually swallowed by a whale, all that stuff, and they just like, even if they wouldn't say like mean stuff all the time, there was always just this sense of like, oh, you kind of just look down on these other people just because they believe in something that's a little silly, and it was just like, oh well, this isn't nice. Let's see here.
It was weird because like I've seen sniping like that, including like during service, and I could tell you stories about this guy. But there's this guy at my church, and normal people don't like him. I don't even think fundies like him, to be honest. But he keeps like he's like a Sunday school teacher somehow, even though like the staff there and the
for like
leadership,
kids, for like teens
and adults, and for some reason, and I don't know why, because like
no one likes them.
Yeah. So anyway, there's one time where he gets up to pray like during the service because they're like asking people, you know, if you want to stand up and pray for us or whatever, just do it. And he gets up and he starts like doing his own little sermon, and it's just kind of all over the place, but he starts talking about like well, no. First, he starts like fake crying, you know, like the crocodile tears, and he's like, "I have a confession to make. I've been sinning." And long story short, he's like, as you all know, I got this very nice job, and I'm making like so many figures a month. And he's like, and to tell you the truth, I haven't been tithing the full 10% from the blah, blah, blah figures. Why, just the other day, I bought a new car or something like that. And, like, everyone's like, nobody's doing it. He's like using it to brag about like his wealth.
Oh my
And then he's
God.
like, and I gotta be honest with you, congregation, not tithing is just as bad a sin as being a homosexual. So then the pastor like runs up and he's like, okay, thank you, and like takes the microphone from him.
Oh my God.
And he like, I don't know what his deal was, but he like had issues with homosexuals, and he would
Wait,
always
what
like
did I
drag it
walk
into
into?
everything
Hold
he
on.
did.
We're talking about the
Baptist versus Baptist.
Oh, okay. Oh, my mom.
Yeah,
made
we're
Baptist.
talking about about like a guy at Sean's church who was like a self-righteous humble bragger.
Boy. So my mom was Catholic growing up, but as she put it, Baptists, they just think that hell is a big bonfire for Catholics. That is what my mom would always say about Baptists. They just think hell is a big bonfire for Catholics.
Okay, and I gotta be honest with you, even the most fundy of Baptists don't give a fuck. It's so weird, because like Catholics
Well, maybe
are
in the
always,
60s
like,
it was
screaming and
different,
Screeching. Maybe. I mean, I'm not gonna deny that. It probably was a thing at one time, but like, even to this day, like young Catholics are like always like, oh, well, I bet you Baptists really hate us, huh? Because we hate you. And Baptists are like, no. And I don't get it. Apparently, I guess I mean, I know stuff happened historically, but like modern day Baptists, like 70s onwards, really don't care. But for some reason, Catholics seem to think so.
Well, remember, my mom didn't meet
But,
anybody
My
who wasn't
question is,
Catholic
what can-
until she was in college, so...
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, talk about sheltered,
Oh my God.
My mom has got some... I love my mom. Well, we've got to have her on the stream sometime, because she's so
Yes.
fun. She'd do it, too. She's retired. She doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Tell her there's the Baptist who shows up on your show and it's giving you a hard time.
Oh my! She would show up immediately if she knew that. She'd be like, "Well, I gotta make sure she doesn't think my raised."
Oh shit! You just reminded me. If we're talking about stories about my church guy in hell, he was
Because of
teaching
course we are.
one of the teenage classes one day,
Yeah.
and the gist of it is his lesson was on hell, and that the worst part about hell wasn't eternal punishment, eternal separation from God or anything. The worst part of hell was that you were going to be naked, and he's like. And he's like, now I'm telling you guys this now, and this needs to be serious. And he's like yelling at us, and he's like, because I don't want years in the future when you're naked in hell to be thinking, oh, I should have listened to Mr. His name here.
So did he think? So did he know what like the garb in heaven is going to be if it's
with the dress
so
code.
great and not naked?
Gee, I'd hate for him to find out.
Sean, is this where your love of nudists came from and nudity? Was this guy?
I was like in rebellion of this guy.
Because you like,
No, like-
your whole furry character, you like that he's kind of a nudist. I know it's like a thing you like. Which
He's not a nudist. He just happens to only wear a cowboy hat or other hat, like a cavalier hat. Or
no, I'm not trying to make
hats
it
or
even a weird
clothes.
thing. Like, I draw. the
Listen,
shit, so.
listen. A nudist is someone who wears no clothes.
Yeah, hats
Sean's
and
character wears some clothes, just not ones that cover any of the things that would be covered. So he's actually an exhibitionist.
He's not a
It
nudist.
covers
he's,
my head.
He's someone who's exited the clothed world.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about Kill a Kill for a moment.
Maybe we are. Who knows?
I've lost track of it, admittedly.
It's that whole thing got started because of freaking Billy, because like he looked at my character and he's like, oh woo, he's a nudist, he is. And then it just kind of became a meme, and then I just kind of went with it.
Oh, why not? Why not? It's fun to draw naked characters because you're not supposed to. Once we're like only supposed to draw them clothed the world will become rebellious.
Yeah, because you're drawing my character as if he were in hell right now.
Oh my god. Well, you've always asked me to draw him in hell. What's wrong with you?
Well, because you were a Catholic, so I thought you'd be familiar with it.
Okay, thank you. Oh, good turnaround. That was good.
How dare you, Sue? You drew her in your delicates.
Delicates. Yeah, delicates. I gotta get.
To be
I
fair,
do
he
gotta get my
always draws
mom
them
in
with
to
it
talk about
covered.
her Catholic school upbringing. and how eventually she got, this is real, she won't talk about this part, but she got expelled from Catholic school because oh, thank you, whoever just subscribed, and checked that. She got expelled from Catholic school because this really happened. She stomped on a nun's foot so hard that she broke it.
Fuck yeah.
My mom was a rebellious child. Sabatine has followed. Thank you. All this talk of nudists and Catholics, truly, that's what brings the followers in.
This is the content that they are truly here for.
Thank you. Get your friends in here. We have energetic conversations every Saturday about all sorts of unholy things.
Okay.
I'm enjoying my beer too.
I have to say, Kit, that I think that your parents and my parents would get along really well.
Yeah.
Because of your hatred of the Baptists.
well, Mamoru is my mom's. Of all my friends, Mamoru is my mom's favorite. So, sorry, he's got it. He's got it. He has the favorite.
Well, I think isn't Mamoru also the one that she's met the most?
No, not even that. She just likes that he's into embroidery and has nice. She calls him. Well, I won't use his real name, but she calls him Momaru with the nice hair. That's.
But you use my real name.
Sorry, I will refer to you as Coyote if you'd like.
Thank you.
Okay, I will. I'm not sure who has preferences for what names. I try to.
I'm just gonna put my name in my bio.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows my name's Kit. Like, it's not a big deal. So.
Yeah, like honestly, I use Bone and Kit like pretty interchangeably. Like, it's one time it's nice to sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of people do. So that's why I forget that other people. It's like, oh right, they have like their online name versus their real name.
I always call him Kitstopher.
That's true.
I mean, that's closer to his legal name. But...
My legal name is Chris. That's true. But like nobody calls me Chris except like my mom and my ex-girlfriend. So, like honey, you don't even like calling me Chris.
Very, very rarely. Just to remind myself that that's your actual name.
Yeah. No, but no, girlfriends I've had have called me Chris in the past, which, you know, like, whatever, but...
Billy, you need to shut the fuck up.
What is he doing?
No, he's like, oh, mister!
Hello,
Call AJ Andy.
Yeah, there we go.
I fucking hate the nickname Andy.
Makes
But Andy like Toy Story.
Yeah!
No, Andy, calling someone Andy.
But hey, Andy loves his Woody.
He does. Hey!
No, Andy is the name of like a 6-year-old.
Andy likes playing with his Woody. Likes playing with his Woody and Buzz. Life is a nightmare.
Does Andy be like...
This is a hell world that I have now been... Your teacher was wrong. Hell isn't being naked. It's being called Andy.
Yeah, like how preoccupied was he with this hell is being naked thing? Like, was that something?
Oh, it kept getting brought up by him, and I think I'm pretty damn sure that he's like closet like a pornophile or something like that. I mean, he has to be.
I was gonna say, where does that fear come from? Is it because he's like really into it, or is it because he's got like? Well, hold on. It could be that he's afraid of being naked because he has like a weird looking penis, or he has a small penis, and he's like, oh my god, the worst thing ever would be all the girls seeing my little penis.
So
that's
what we're
his
saying,
hell,
Sean,
and he was projecting that onto children.
So what we're asking, Sean, is it possible for you to find out, and next time for stream, confirm what his penis looks like?
I will try my best, sir.
All right, we'll get him on with my mom, and they can talk about it.
Yeah,
no, I think this because I'm pretty damn sure his son is gay.
See?
And because like,
are they not on good terms now?
I don't know. I don't like either of them, so I don't do everything
So
to
fuck
avoid
it.
them.
Yeah, fuck. You know, who cares? Hell is being naked though. That's like weirdly fascinating, and that says more about him than. Like at the time when you're kids, you probably viewed him as an authority figure. We're like, oh well.
Oh no, we were teenagers, and when my brother and I left the class, we were like, "What the fuck?"
Okay, yeah.
And then we were like joking that one day he's just gonna like come in a crazed lunatic state, like shirtless, rubbing his nipples. He's gonna kick the doors open and
He'll
be
be
like,
naked,
"I'm
yeah.
naked in hell! I'm naked in hell! You
I've
all
made
do
it!
me
I'm
good,
finally in
naked."
hell! Yeah. I'm finally in hell and loving it! Like, oh no, he's touching himself. Get that man out of here! Get that naked hell man out of here!
Dude, his kid. Oh, I don't know if I should tell this one.
Should I talk about this naked man's child? Fuck it.
Nah, fuck it. It's too funny. So his kid is definitely another holier than thou thing. Like, to prove that he was better than the rest of everyone, he burned his sister's Harry Potter books.
Oh my god, one of those.
Apparently the kid was like big into like pornography, like big time, that he asked one of my brother and I's friends to like be his net nanny, and like whenever he would go online, his friend's phone would like blow up with like text alerts about what he was looking up.
Oh, he had one of those
And,
net nannies. Okay, he had one of those.
No, it gets better. So apparently, his grandparents are like missionaries or whatever. I like them; they're good. And apparently, this kid got banned from like all computer devices and video games. So all he had left was his Kindle, and I don't know how he did it, but he somehow emailed his smut from his Kindle to his grandparents.
What?
And now he's like not allowed to use technology. Period.
How? What? Like, hold on. He's like an adult now, right? Like, wouldn't?
Yes, but he's still.
What the?
No, I don't get it either. I don't know how he did it, but like, my brother and I's friend was like telling us this, and we were like dying of laughter, and we were like, "What the fuck? How did he do that?" And we came to the consensus that it must have been like his dick just like begging for help, that it just like slapped the screen or whatever.
He found
going like,
Help, he's strangling me!
He got on Kindle and found milked at her uncle's farm, and he emailed it to his grandparents. That was last week we were talking about. That is a book you can buy on Kindle and Audible. It's Milked at Her Uncle's Farm. It's a trilogy of lactation erotica novels.
Oh God.
Yeah, so.
we were like, his dick. The next time he does it, it's probably just gonna be like, it's just gonna like cough out dust.
Why would he email it though? Like, was it an accident? Like, was he just like...
on accident? He no one knows how he did it. He just somehow went from jacking it to emailing it to his grandparents.
I mean, I can email porn to my grandparents, but they're dead, so it doesn't matter. Like, they're not opening that. Like Gerard and Betty.
But I mean, this is the mystery. It's like, nobody knows how he could have done it. It's like, how do you go from the browser to like email?
Well, I mean,
like,
if
you
that's
have to click.
If it's like a thing for you, like exhibitionism, then yeah, you do it on purpose.
But it was on accident. He didn't mean to do it,
or so he claims. You know, with exhibition.
It was on accident.
Quote unquote. Yeah, like if you're into it, yeah, you'll just say like, "Oh, it was an accident," but really, I totally meant to do it because it makes me come hard.
No, you're like. No, I've seen like weird things where it'll be like God, this was a long time ago. It was while I was still on Twitter. But it was like some guys who would like say really disgusting like horse shit to women on dating sites, just to try to like dare them and get them to like blast them out on social media.
I mean, some of that shit those guys say is funny.
And they do it, or this guy specifically would do it because he gets off on being publicly humiliated and shamed.
Oh,
And
dude,
so
you
it's
just
like an
reminded me.
extra layer of like, oh, he's saying this awful shit to women just so he can be like publicly shamed, so he could like go through this panic fantasy of trying to like hide it so that like his parents or family or boss won't find out about it, because that's what he gets off to.
That's such a complicated way to masturbate.
No,
It's so bizarre.
Okay, you reminded me. There's somebody who is like pretty infamous, like in the Channer or Kiwi Farms world, because like he would dox himself and like post pictures of himself like doing sea-kale salutes or like shitting in diapers or whatever, and then like beg to be doxed. And then when these guys would find him and dox him, he'd be like, "No, don't dox me! Take down my thread! Oh, I'm so embarrassed!" But then he'd go do it again, and he'd like.
Yeah, no, I think it was that. I think it was like that guy.
You think
or
it's
someone
the same
like
guy?
that. It might not be the same guy, but it's the same thing.
Right. Well, I mean, it's like he would like go after them and like antagonize them and like, you know, get them to dox him. He'd even like give them his address, and then whenever it go up on a thread, he'd be like, "Oh no, you have to take it down. I was just trying to get off." And
that's such a complicated way to get off. Like, to me, it's just like, yeah, you just think about like hot people and you're good. Like, all those steps, like, Jesus Christ, that sounds like a nightmare. What a way to live. You know, that's just me saying. I don't
Yeah,
get
thank
it.
God we're normal furries.
Like, you know, I just want to have sex with attractive people and characters. Like, yeah, that's cool. That's all I want out of life. To have to like go through all these steps. Like, oh my, like. So even with the furry thing, it's like, okay, so you find like comics or animations. Like, can someone who's into that stuff like find equivalent like stories or comics, etc., that would you know, do it for them? Because it's so elaborate, like to have these very specific things happen. I don't know. That sounds like it sucks. That's what I'm saying. And I'm glad I'm not that person.
Me too. I'm really glad that you're not that person either.
Well, you probably wouldn't have married that guy who only gets off to like being blackmailed on the internet after like shit talking to women on dating sites. Like, probably wouldn't be who another gay man would marry.
Yeah, someone who is trying to hit up women on dating sites is probably not who a gay man would marry. No.
You know? See, you're making a lot of sense here. I don't know, maybe I'm not making any sense. I'm sorry, just it's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
It also sounds like too much work. Oh my god, just to
Well, some people like they masturbate so much that they actually have to work for it, and so they have to create like a new thing because they've wanged too much to the regular stuff.
Well, yeah.
And they just can't stop.
Yeah, and I've had them on the stream before. It's guys who just like they just like kind of acquire fetishes as they go, because it's like, oh, that one ran out, time for the next one, and they get into the really weird shit. You're just like,
Like, was it like I think the infamous one is like the Wonder Bread guy who's like jacked off so much. Yeah, that he can't jacked off so much that he can't jack off if it doesn't involve Wonder Bread.
Like Wonder Bread
What the
with chainsaws.
What the fuck?
You don't know about Murloc? Oh, he's been on the Dick
man.
Show. He's been on it a few times. He's kind of infamous online because he commissions so much porn of. Well, it's not even really porn. It's just it's women with chainsaws buying Wonder Bread at the grocery store, and that's like his thing.
And it's like, yeah, you say it's not porn, but it is like he buys it because it is something that arouses him, which feels more like porn than like actual pornography, because it's something that is bought specifically in order to like fantasize about and get off with utter complete indulgence in this, like, I mean, to him, fantastic idea.
Of women with
and you know, obviously,
chainsaws buying
women
bread.
buying. Yeah, that is a literal fantasy. Because that's something that would never happen, and that's what this guy needs in order to whack it.
Chip, get down, buddy.
Oh,
Chip.
Sean's dogs are acting up. His dogs are barking.
Just the one. Bells is apparently a
Bell's usually
well-behaved
pretty
sweetheart,
good. Bell's usually pretty good.
but Chip is a crazy
cat, a
baby.
little
Can you hear him licking the microphone because he's licking as I'm trying to talk into it?
No, actually, I can hear him at all.
No, I haven't heard him.
I didn't hear him.
Yeah, Belle is a sweet little baby, and she is under my desk at my feet, just being the perfect little angel. And Chip is like on top of me right now, just licking my microphone. He's got his one paw on my shoulder, one paw going into my stomach.
Yeah, that's a dog thing. Just they need to get in, and any part of their body they can use as an anchor to get in deeper. They'll use it. That came out wrong.
No, keep going. You're good. You're in a good place with this.
No, I think I'll stop there.
Women
buying me bread. That's a fetish.
I mean, that guy. They've had him on TDS a few times now to talk about it. And the last episode he was on, he talked about his upbringing, where he was this Wonder Bread fetish guy, and it was like he was largely raised in the foster care system, and it super fucked with him. And that might be the reason he's so into his weird Wonder Bread thing. He's considered infamous on like DeviantArt because he commissioned so much of this stuff, and it was like for a while considered to be like a badge of honor to be contacted.
Hey, okay, that's enough.
Okay,
That's enough.
so it's
Puppy.
Get down.
That's definitely Chip.
Yeah, puppy. Big bark.
Is it like the Togepi guy kind of thing, where it's like...
Yes, like that guy.
Wait, the what guy?
Togepi.
Is that what, the Pokemon?
No, there's a guy named that, and isn't he like the macro fox, Falco and Wolf guy?
Oh, yeah, that is. The Korean heart surgeon, yes. I forgot that was his name. He named himself after a Pokemon.
Yeah, which is funny because he doesn't get like Togepi porn. He gets Falco and Fox.
Being real
sometimes,
big.
Sometimes it's not even porn. It's just they're big in a city.
Yeah, and it's like what
God,
even
I would
is
hope
this?
he wasn't getting Togepi porn.
I mean, maybe he is doing that too.
Jesus.
You don't know.
When he's feeling really freaky, he gets what's his name, Wolf involved.
Wolf involved with Togepi.
Oh
yeah.
man, that's like a special occasion though.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Apparently, somebody I know out them on stream was like really excited once because he's like, dude, Togepi says he really likes my work and he's gonna commission me, and it's like,
good for you.
I mean,
Ready?
I don't know. Maybe not yet.
The guy has spent like he's claimed he spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars on this fetish.
Based just simply on how much of it I've seen, I can believe it.
He's gotten multiple Miles DF pieces. Like,
Yeah.
He's clearly not wanting for money. And he does claim that he is a heart surgeon, which hey, that shit pays. And you know, spend it on what you
Well,
want.
he's keeping artists' lives, so
Sure,
I guess
yeah, he sure is. Between that and the Wonder Bread guy, I guess drawing Fox and Falco is real big for no discernible reason. I guess that's a little... Is that better? I don't even know if that's better. I don't get it. I don't get it at all, but I also...
What is honor?
What is honor? You decide. You decide, chat. What's worth it for you?
Let's see.
We've only got 10 minutes left. We'll just kill the last 10 minutes and then we'll shut down the stream. But just keep that energy going, or you're all fired. You don't even pay us. That's
Okay,
right.
you need to give us time to say that. Why are you
Kid,
talking
you
to
need to let me
yourself?
cut
when we
free.
Oh God. I was thinking that might come up this stream. We just kind of ran from it.
You know what? It's fun. It's fun to talk about other crazy things.
Well, it was also like the first hour of the stream was just like me and Dan, so it was like, oh, okay, we'll just kill time talking about like art and stuff. Maybe if more people show up earlier next time, I'll get into the weird, vivid shit. But we didn't. Well, we just didn't have time tonight because people got in. I was like, I'll do it when there's more people. You know, I do things based on how the stream and the chat is feeling, and if I'm seeing, you know.
Yeah.
It's an entirely gut thing. So anybody who wants to know knows what the fuck is going on. So
You seem upset. Fucking Billy.
all right. And like if you're in the chat and you're wondering what the fuck I'm talking about, you can just PM me and I'll fill you in. Details.
I don't know. I might be. I think I'm the only one at this point, but I'm so sick and tired of you seem upset.
Well, you also.
I think I was a bit too close to the situation.
You know, yeah. I was about to say you kind of live with me. Just people saw those emails and were like, "Is this like a joke?" It might be. It might be. If so, it's not a great one. But
why are we still here?
You mad, bro?
Yeah. My thing with the "you mad, bro" meme has always been, "Yeah, I am. Now what? I am upset because you are acting in an upsetting way. Can we move on from us judging each other's emotional state and handle the problem, or are we going to be like, oh, you have an emotion. Now you have lost. You have felt something as a human."
I will say this, I checked earlier, and the person in question has their own stream right now, and as I tracked, he had a lot less viewers than you did.
Yeah, I don't even have a huge amount of people in here. Like, I'm not a huge streamer, draw, or anything, but I try to keep it active. I try to keep it fun. You know, that's all I care about. This is a fun way for me to spend my Saturdays painting, is to talk with you guys. I love it. So,
If maybe I'll get a camera on next time. Do some drawings.
Please do. We can multi-stream. I don't mind. I'd love to have more people. Tell your friends. Tell them, hey, if you're lonely on a Saturday, pop in here. He reads the chat even.
Maybe I'll just get a camera on chip.
There you can dog cam. Let's do it.
Dogs make people happy.
Well, and that's my goal with the stream, is every week I'm going to be adding new things. This week it was the new setup, so you could see everything I'm working on. I got a ring light going on, so it's more well lit. I'm going to be adding.
Speaking of the new setup, what is the background image you've got set up here? Is it like just a stock thing, or
background image? Oh, yeah, that is. I've had that for a while. That's the Streamlabs. If you have like a Primo subscription, you can get like different themes, and they had a bunch of them. They were all kind of gamey and annoying. I liked this one because it was black and white. It was simple, so I went with that.
it kind of looks like Final Fantasy VII, like just by textures and things in the background, but I can't tell.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's anything in particular.
Yeah, it kind of like, I wish it looked like something. But it looks like, I don't know, I guess it's technological something? I don't know.
I don't
you
know.
You make your own too.
No, I don't know if it's anything in particular. If it is Final Fantasy VII, I mean, that's cool. I'm down with that. I'm down with the Shinra.
It looks like one of those TF2 or Overwatch style clones, you know, where you guys running around with a big old gun in like a first-person shooter or whatever.
Oh, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I just chose it because my big thing was I didn't want it to be distracting from like the painting. I was like, oh, a lot of these are very intrusive or too flashy. So I was like, I like the simple.
Okay, hold on really quick. Blue and Billy, please shut the fuck up and stop slapping at each other.
No slappies! Everybody get along!
Yeah, shut the fuck up!
No, be nice to each other, everybody. It's not hard. Just talk to each other like human beings, and it'll all be okay. I guarantee you there's understanding to be found between fellow humans.
Yeah.
It's not always easy, especially over text and over the internet, where nothing sounds good, but it can happen. Just
Right now, just be really good to each other.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Yeah, I don't need
Things
yeah.
suck enough.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
rough over in Boneville. You know, stuff. Boneville. It's fun to say. You know, luckily VHB pages and stuff are coming out on time. What?
You know, I just thought that you just would prefer Boner Town.
That's pretty good. I do like that. We should move there. Is there a Boner Town, Montana? If not, we should found it.
You know, if we can get a Boner Town in Upper Michigan just so it's easier to see family, that would be nice.
Yeah, there we go. Up in Glen, like right next to. Oh, there's Glen Arbor, and then there's Boner Town right next door.
That's the really fun one. There's the vacation destination, and then there's the vacation destination.
Yeah. There's the salmon fishing, and then there's the semen fishing. That's bad.
Oh no.
That's that's making your clientele a little too exclusive there.
Hey, you can do both. You can only do
Who
one of
knows?
those.
Who knows? Like Boner Town, it could be mostly straight boners. You don't know.
In Bonetown, Michigan. That's where my next YCH will be set. Bonertown, Michigan.
The city mascot, the ferret.
Yeah, the feisty ferret is the city mascot. There we go.
And everyone drives a Dome Zero in that town.
What's a Dome Zero?
Won't you take me
It's
to
a car.
Oh, okay.
Boner Town?
Won't you take me out? Yeah, there you go. We got a theme song. We have a mascot. Bonertown is shaping. Bonertown is shaping up. I'm already liking this. Sean, you can be mayor, since you can't put the theme song.
Yes.
Mayor of Bonertown. Jesus Christ.
For life?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Who cares?
Hell yeah.
Laws are lame.
No. Hair will go to his head.
Now you listen here, Mamavu. I'm gonna run Boner Town like it's a real city.
Oh, don't worry, it's not.
This is where we have come.
We're gonna stop the damn dirty trolls.
And everyone is required to have alcohol in their dwelling at all times.
Why are we here?
No, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to smoke the wacky tobacco.
Oh, we definitely do a lot of that, so.
Oh.
All right, it's 10 o'clock.
It is!
We could go further.
No. We're at a good place. Does anybody want to get any last comments, etc. in before we close down for the night?
Yeah, Billy, you need to watch your ass some Steven Universe.
Yeah, man. Yeah, why don't you, learn about
kindness.
Just learn to be a nice person.
Yeah.
It's
Learn
not
about-
that hard, Billy.
Learn about gems. I don't know anything about Steven Universe.
Or if you don't, we'll make you watch Teletubbies.
Yeah,
That-
that's Steven
That one might
Universe.
be a little easier for him to understand.
Billy needs all the help he can get in learning about the magic of friendship and being nice.
No,
I just mean that Teletubbies is easier to understand, literally.
It is a British kids show.
Wait, is Teletubbies British?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh.
It must be of me, Dad. It does.
That
What's
is
in Telly versus Tobiot?
I only know about Lazy Town, and that's from like Finland or Sweden or something.
Iceland.
Is it Iceland? I forget. It's just
Yeah,
like,
it's Iceland.
okay. I just know it's a show about lunacy. It's a show about.
It's number one.
Pure well, that's certainly true. All right, we're on all of our favorite children's television shows. So that's definitely a good place to stop it for the night. This has been good though. I'll be doing Shots with Comics tomorrow night. We got lots of good reviews coming up, so I'll be finishing Legend of the Overfiend finally. You guys can stop hearing me talk about that. And a couple other books. That's the most interesting one though. And then the week after that, it's Gut Rot time. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right. Anybody else?
Oh no.
Yeah, gut rot. It's the end of the month. February. It's a short month. I'll be finishing this painting up over tomorrow, Monday, maybe Tuesday. He shouldn't take too long, but he's coming along good. Anybody else got anything you want to chime in before we sign off?
No, I'm good.
All right. This has been awesome. Glad to have you guys. Hope to see more of you back next. Excuse me.
Oh.
Wow.
No.
Beer burp. Hope to see more of you back here next week.
Morty.
It's been good though. Thank you everybody. Back next week, Saturday, 7 p.m. EST. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Later.